Wake up, Ghana, your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations from Accra to the world.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Only on GhanaTalks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice.
Thank God it's Friday and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. This is your favorite online radio station you can carry along wherever you go. All you need to do is just download the app on Google Play Store or Apple Store at GhanaTalks Radio. And we are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio, TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Do well to join us this morning right here on the morning show. Let's get interactive right here on the show. I am your host, Ruth Esenamfiagbedu, and I'm bringing you the news review and also the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. And right here, we bring you all the relevant stories making waves in the news. And this morning, I'll be serving you breakfast as usual, how we do it, with Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso. Good morning, ladies, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
It's good to have you on the show. Hope all is fine.
Right, good. Yes.
Miss Debbie, are you okay? Are you fine?
I'm good.
Are you hungry?
Not at all.
You want scobe, beans, wache?
This morning I am craving for porridge.
Oh, okay. You want to go on a wetty breakfast this morning? You know, a lot is going on. I have to clear my throat very well because I know the news is already out. Yes, and a lot of people have heard about it. And maybe they'll be disappointed. But, you know, we are here this morning. Let me listen to what you also think. Your opinion on that is what matters to the people as well. Right, let's get into the news items. Court of Appeal acquits discharges former Maslok CEO Sedina Tamaklo. The Court of Appeal has overturned the conviction and 10-year prison sentence of former Maslok CEO Sedina Tamaklo Ationu and acquitted and discharged her of all charges. The three-member panel unanimously ruled that the prosecution failed to provide or prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. The court also criticized the trial court's approach, stressing that every accused person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Sedina Tamaklo was convicted in 2024 on 78 counts, including stealing, conspiracy to steal, causing financial loss to the state, and money laundering. The prosecution had alleged that she misappropriated public funds during her time as Maslok CEO. However, after reviewing the evidence, the Court of Appeal found that the prosecution's case did not meet the required legal standard and has now set aside the earlier conviction. So, in simple terms, what the Court of Appeal is saying is that Sedina Tamaklo is free. Go and sin no more. Is a free woman. She has been acquitted and then acquitted and also discharged. But you know, as we Ghanaians, the way we talk, then just yesterday we heard the Attorney General say, no, wait there. I'm going to file an appeal to that, and we'll get into it as to why the Court of Appeal has acquitted and discharged her of all charges. So the Attorney General has filed for a stay of execution. That means that Sedina Tamaklo is going to, if it goes through, that means that Sedina Tamaklo is still going to be in prison till the appeal goes through and everything is done before we will get to find out if indeed we are going to work with the declaration by the Court of Appeal. Ms. Debbie, this morning when I went on social media and found out that the Attorney General has actually filed for a stay of execution and filed and appealed as to why the Court of Appeal have declared Sedinam Tamaklo free and also discharge her of all sentence. And one thing that keeps popping up is a sentence. The Attorney General is, trying to do over sabi to make it look as if say, oh, we are not happy about this declaration or by this results that the Court of Appeal is coming up with. Do you see it like that? Do you think that is also sentence?
Well, to me, in a way, I would say yes.
You see it as sentence?
Yes, in a way, I would say yes, because this is one of the sensitive cases that everyone is keenly following in Ghana, and this woman has been he was sentenced. She was sentenced way back, and then she absconded, but I think we followed this case till she was back in the country, and everyone was looking forward for her being jailed in a cell or in prison. We got to know by the communicators of the NDC that she was in cell. In as much as people still doubt that she wasn't in Sawam, and only for us to wake up yesterday with the news being broadcasted everywhere that she has not been found guilty, and so she has been discharged. Then I asked myself, on what basis is someone not found guilty if the evidences are clear? Because this is a woman that has been charged with 78 counts causing financial loss to the state or Batampa Mother Care. She using the company. She went in the name of the company for a loan, and then she didn't pay. And as well, a fund that was supposed to be meant for victims of the fire outbreak at Kantamanto, they didn't receive that money. So clearly, all evidences are glaring right in our faces that this woman is truly culpable of any crime or charges that have been leveled against her. But now they say she has been found. She's not guilty. So the question keep popping. So I did a few research, and then I realized that a person can, in as much as maybe we might see the evidence, if somebody is not proven guilty at the end of the day, then it means that there is no insufficient evidence, which means that the evidence that we saw, it is not sufficient. In a way, it doesn't make sense to me, because everything shows, but then they are saying that insufficient evidence, even if there are evidence also, and then everything is on board, and the judge is not convinced, or the jury are not convinced enough that this person is truly guilty of whatever allegations that have been leveled against her, they can still allow her go scot-free. And then prosecution failed to prove key elements. So every crime has ingredients. If one ingredient is missing, it fails. So for causing financial loss to the state, prosecution must prove intent, loss, and causation. If intent can't be proven, then acquittal becomes something else. And then witness not credible. If the witnesses you are bringing on board, they are not credible enough, or the evidences you are bringing on board, they are not credible enough, then it means that whatever case you are chasing after becomes a waste of time and resources. But you see, this is what the law is stating. And then I personally feel like we are not serious as a country. We are not serious, and it has to do with corruption. This is not the first time a government official have been picked up as a result of causing financial loss to the state. And then we know how it ends. The person will go to court, they'll grant the person bail, and then they'll be like, oh, there are not enough evidence. When a different evidence pops up about that same incident, the person goes back to court, and then they deal on it till it becomes a useless and foolish case, and then it dies out and no one talks about it. So this is what the law is stating, that she not being found guilty means that automatically there are not clear evidence, or either the evidence are there but the judge or the jury are not convinced enough that this person is guilty of the crime, or either the evidence are not credible enough or the witnesses on board are not credible. And this will tell you that, as I said, we are not serious because the evidences are clear. We are not different from other nations who jailed people. There were instances where France, I think the president, the wife of the president, and the son were all jailed. I think they were given a life sentence. That is because they've caused financial loss to the state.
Yeah.
But here lies the case in Ghana. Here it becomes something when it has to do with political officials. The whole thing turns upside down. So with the issue of Sedina Tamaklo, it came as a blow to everyone. Personally, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this at all. Even if you allow the person to go, you can at least reduce it. If it is 10 years and then you feel like, well, some of the evidences are not clear enough, you can just reduce it, say maybe 9. You've given her 1 year off, or maybe 2, and then you give her like 8 years to serve. At least let her serve a sentence. Then we know that you are making effort when it comes to fighting corruption. But when you've allowed her to go, and you are giving room for people to loot.
Right, but don't you think that trying her in absentia was a disadvantage?
As in
For the fact that the person wasn't present in court, so certain questions that she should have answered to, she wasn't able to answer. So the court judged her based on what was present without her defending herself.
So why wasn't she present?
Well, she asked for permission
to do what exactly?
For medical.
That has always been the case. That has always been the case for all politicians. What was it? Abdul Wahab?
Yeah, her wife.
Her wife. She said she's going out.
It's been rejected.
We saw that of Edu Boahin. He goes to a time he said he is traveling out for medical checkup. And I was like, what is this? This has become the shall I say the normal status quo where all politicians are using that as a basis. And immediately they get out of this country, it becomes something else. We are chasing after Oforiata. Oforiata is still there. And so they see US and other countries as a place where they can, they can go for what's the name? They can be shielded after they've caused us pain and a huge loss. So for me, it is not a disadvantage. It is not a disadvantage. Every person who is accused of a crime and a person refused to avail his or herself for investigation can be tried in absentia. She was tried in absentia because the evidences were clear. Everything was clear that this woman stole our money. She took what does not belong to her. So I don't see any disadvantages in this. The only thing is that we are not serious as a country. From the leaders to the last floor member, we are not serious. We are just not serious. And just as I said, so far as the evidences are clear, whether you are out of the country or you refuse to avail yourself, you can be tried in absentia.
You can be tried in absentia. Well, due to this, I think there was a press release yesterday from the NPP, and they are also demanding that if Sedina Tamaklo is being freed, they are also asking for Wontumi to be freed. But one question I keep asking is, has the Supreme Court or has the Court of Appeal brought out their judgments on the appeal they have filed? No, they haven't. So the NPP should relax. Miss Regina?
So with the issue of Sedina, I don't really have much to say because whatever reason they gave, their lawyers, their judges, and they know the best thing to do. But I would say, looking at the aspect of not really looking into the law, I personally would say I'm disappointed, because if 10 years to nothing, I'd rather than employ at least from 15 years to 1 year. But said enough from 10 years to nothing. This brings us to our judicial system. is it trustworthy enough? Are the people or are the public ready to trust these people again? And also, Attorney General, I don't really know, but I would also say, oh yeah, because
Like how?
Attorney General, where were they when they were appealing it? Away. So as I was saying, to the Attorney General, to me personally, I see that he's doing and this is not the time to be doing that. We need action, because if someone like this, who was once seen as a criminal, who was labeled all these charges, and at the end of the day you come us to tell us that all those charges has been dropped, what are you trying to say? And this is also giving room for the NPP to also say that then the arrest of Chairman Wontumi and he being detained is a political action. Yes, political action. So I think they really need to look into it. If they have to start this whole case from scratch, they should start it from scratch, because 10 years, no, she can't go home just like that.
She can't go home just like that. So what if they go into it and indeed she's innocent?
Innocent as in how?
But why in the first place, why would she be innocent? See, she was the CEO, and all this corruption went under her nose. So if there was another person attributed to this crime, they would have also arrested that person and labeled that charge against that person. But here lies the case, she is the only one. So how is she free? She's not free. Oh, in every rumor there's an iota of truth. So they should look into it. Where is the money? Okay, if she's free, all those money, where is it? She should bring it.
Right. Mr. B, you wanted to add a
Yes, so if that is what they are saying, then it means that all the investigative bodies we have here are not up to task.
Yeah. And they're just resources.
Yes, they are bogus.
To extradite her and all
because I'm not sure when an issue of corruption pops out, there is an investigation takes place. These investigative bodies do background or underground research, and even when it comes to the Auditor General's report, anytime they find irregularity, they refer the person either to any of these bodies, these investigative bodies, either the Attorney General, or they refer you to any of this investigative body to,
or even the court.
Yes, to affirm that truly you've caused financial loss to the state. It is after that they confirmed that yes, you've truly done that. So if you're saying that this woman is free, then it means that all these bodies we have that are responsible for investigating corruption, they are useless. So we don't need them. We should scrap them.
Exactly. A whole lot of questions is popping up. And what does this ruling actually make of our high court as well? And also the judge that sat on this issue. Does that mean that the judge is equally incompetent? Is that what the Court of Appeal is also saying? So there are a lot of questions, but we've seen that the Attorney General has taken a step. So let's wait for what happens next. Right. So yesterday the Attorney General presented the report of the Constitutional Review Committee, which he termed as a white paper, and they brought in a whole lot of reforms. Let's get into some few ones of these reports. Government endorses 5-year presidential term. Age limit cut to 35. The government has accepted a proposal to extend the tenure of the president and parliament from 4 years to 5 years. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, announced this while presenting the government's white paper on the Constitutional Review Committee's recommendation. The government says the longer term will give elected administrations more time to implement and assess their policies. It argues that under the current 4-year cycle, the early part of a government tenure is often affected by transition, while the final year is dominated by election activities. The government has also agreed in principle to reduce the minimum age for presidential candidates. However, instead of the committee's proposed 30 years, the government is proposing 35 years. The proposed changes will require the necessary constitutional processes before they can take effect. So finally, government has endorsed the 5-year term for president and also parliamentary candidates, and the reason they gave as to why they buy into this reform or into this proposal is to allow government to be able to complete their policies. Ms. Ebi, do you think that this 5-year term or this additional 1 year is actually going to give any government that comes to power an ample time to be able to finish their policies and also projects that they've promised to the people?
This is one of the biggest mistakes we've ever made as a country. And we are not going to see the impact now, but subsequently, with the leaders we will experience going forward, we are going to really feel its impact. I always say that every competent and serious leader, in less than 4 years, you should be able to accomplish your promise or whatever you've laid down to do. You should be able to accomplish it. There is nothing like more time. There is absolutely nothing like more time. So imagine we have a president. So which clearly means that if a government is running for 2 terms, that is 10 years in all. And then when we get someone who is not competent enough, it means we are going to be under bondage for 10 good years. And that is going to be hell. For me, if you ask me, 4 years is good for every competent leader to deliver. 4 years is good. US is they go for US is 4 years. And I think US, Nigeria, and some other countries are 4 years. And even New Zealand is 3 years. Argentina 3 years. They run 3 years, but they are doing well. Are we different from them? The other countries that are running 5 years, 90% of them are Africans. Now, if 90% of these Africans are running 5 years, just look at how these African nations are, or African countries. Look at how they are. They are 5-year term, but we are still poor as Africans. There is nothing to show. So that 5 years, what exactly are we using that 5 years to do? 5 years, but we are doing nothing. And as I said, New Zealand is 3 years old. After 3 years, you move out, and then someone comes in 3 years, and they are doing well for themselves. So as a credible leader, as a leader who have the people at heart, and as a leader you are not coming in to loot from the people, but to deliver. 4 years is enough. 4 years is enough to do whatever you want to do. This is one thing that I do not agree with this current administration, with the way they are passing bills. Some of the bills they are passing,
it's not yet passed into law.
It's not yet. Yes, it is not yet passed. It will be deliberated in Parliament. But I mean, I feel like they are bringing on board a lot of things that they will need to pass before they will move out of power. And I feel like it's becoming too much. Well, because, and I'm sure they are doing this because they are getting good, I can't say, response from the people that the NDC is doing well. The NDC, that is fine, the NDC is doing well. What if after the NDC, the party that comes on board are mafias? And they are coming to you, they say it loud.
I'm not saying loud. You are the only one that heard it.
And they are coming to mafia as, what are we going to do? We are going to live in hell. And that is what is happening to other African countries that are running 5 years. They end up getting a leader who is 90 years, a leader who is old enough to retire. And anytime is due for them to retire, they change the constitution and they run again. We saw instances where one president of one African country was an imbecile. And he was there, he couldn't even speak. You can see saliva and everything coming out. And then you see energetic young men who are supposed to take that position standing right by him, cleaning the saliva. And I was like, what kind of nonsense is this? This is out of hand. It is only Africans that will do this. 5 years for what? To loot. 5 years to steal. That is what they do. Like with this rubbish that is going on right here in Ghana, we could have stopped it. Ghost names and all that. No, it's painful. So sometimes it's good to voice out everything that is in you.
It's your money.
It is my money.
It
is my money. Taxpayers' money.
So vent it out.
Taxpayers' money, and we don't see anything. And the only thing you can do for us is to extend 5 years. No. As for this one, dear, if the minority will work it out, I will support them.
Yeah. But
I will support them.
But listening to opinions yesterday, some people are not in agreement of it. Some people are like, okay. Some people are like, oh nah, we are going to boot this out because 5 years, that is also creating an additional year and another avenue for these people to loot from the states. There are more because if you are expected to finish a particular project in 4 years and now even the 4 years, you can finish that project in 1 year. But they will intentionally delay that project and make sure that right before they leave office, they will go and inaugurate that project. And now that it has been extended to 5 years, what is the probability that this additional year you've given to these people will be able to finish their policies if these are the reasons they are stating? Ms. Regina?
So the 5-year presidential term that the Attorney General, he himself, have come out to say that it has been approved, and at the end of the day they'll be debating it in Parliament. As Debbie said, if the minority even want to oppose it, I think we are in support of it, because looking at some time back, what we went through, that was 4 years, making it 8 years. And me thinking of 5 years plus 5 years, making it 10 years. This is enough time for the corrupt politicians to loot the government, for these corrupt politicians to look down on us and also undermine us. So I think the 4 years we are having now is enough. It's enough to do whatever you want to do. Yes, if you can't complete it, the next person coming on would have to complete it, because at the end of the day, no politician in your friend is saying in Parliament or in power is using their own money to cater for, to look after all these projects. They are using taxpayers' money, so this shouldn't be an issue. And 5 years to me is too much.
The 5 years is too much. If you can do the job, do the job. Well, I think that there should even be a law that if you come into power and you have a project and it's uncompleted, the next person that takes over should make sure that they add it to the project they have promised the people and make sure that it is completed, as long as money has been disbursed. An example could be the Agenda 111. Right now that we have this current administration in power, assuming we had a law, President John Dramani Mahama can take it upon himself to make sure that as long as the monies have been disbursed, he has to see to it that these projects are completed. I wish it worked like that, but an additional year, they will not finish the job. I bet you. Moving on. Dual citizens eligible for public office but banned from presidency. The government has accepted a recommendation to allow Ghanaians with dual citizenship to hold several public offices, including serving as members of parliament, without being required to renounce their foreign citizenship. The proposal is part of the Constitutional Review Committee's recommendations accepted by the government in its white paper. The Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, says the current restrictions do not reflect the realities of modern citizenship or Ghana's relationship with its diaspora. Under the proposed changes, dual citizens could also qualify for positions such as Chief Justice, Speaker of Parliament, and Chairperson of the Electoral Commission, provided they meet other constitutional requirements. However, there is one major exception. Dual citizens will still not be eligible to serve as president or vice president. These two offices will remain reserved for persons who do not hold multiple citizenship. The government says the reforms are intended to widen democratic participation and allow more Ghanaians living abroad to contribute to national development. However, the changes will still have to go through the required constitutional amendment process before they become law. So this means that if you're a foreigner and you have a Ghanaian citizen passport, that makes you a citizen automatically, and you have the edge, the, how will I say it, the aspiration or the enthusiasm to hold a government position. You can hold any position. Even if you want to become a chief justice, you can hold that position without denouncing your other citizenship. The only positions you can hold is presidency and the only position you can hold is being a president or a vice president. Hey, Miss Regina, are you happy with this?
I don't think I'm quite happy, but I think with the aspect of them not wanting these people with dual citizenship to hold the office of the presidency or vice president is understandable. Now my issue is, how do they know that these people, they are trustworthy enough? Because to hold power in parliament, it comes with a whole lot of should I use strategic discussions, secrecy, and a whole lot of obligations. So how well do we know that these people are trustworthy enough? These people are bringing their A game. These people are not being a spy to the other country. How well do we know that? And this brings us to is a conflict of interest. Obiane diope. See, it is good, but it is not good. So I think they should look into it, because at the end of the day, we don't want to hear anything like this MP in parliament who has dual citizenship has stolen our data to this country, has done that. So they need to be careful about that, and they really need to look into it. If indeed they want to give opportunity to these people as well, they need to scrutinize them very well. And scrutinizing them, this is not like the military scrutinize. Like, they need to go deep into it and scrutinize these people, because military for no camp no akron for cry form.
National service.
Me a China name and I have a Ghanaian passport, that automatically makes me a Ghanaian. Or if I'm born here, I'm okay, yeah, and if I'm born
like
here
50-50,
like
your
50-50,
mom is,
and I want to become a chief justice, I can actually vie for that position. Wow. Mr. B.
yeah. Kenya, UK, Canada and Nigeria allows dual citizenship. I mean, people with dual citizenship, to hold position in parliament regardless. And I'm sure they are bringing this on board because of Jachi Kwesen. We remember what happened to Jachi Kwesen back then when he was vying as a member of parliament. Then former President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo was on par. And because I think he was half Canada, half Ghanaian, or sort of. So it became a court issue that the MPP stood against, that he cannot be a member of parliament. And that is because even if you look at our constitution, it's, I think, Article 78. I remember what I mean.
Don't worry, it's fine.
It states that someone with dual citizenship cannot become a member of parliament. You need to be you need to be Ghanaian by birth. Like, both sides, 50-50 are all Ghanaians. Then we know that you have the Banku blood in you, and then you can hold offices like the Supreme Court judge, like justice and all that. So with this, in a way, I felt like it's kind of good. It's kind of good, because if somebody is 50-50, a Ghanaian and a Canadian, it doesn't mean that the person cannot become a member of parliament here in Ghana. What if some of them they only school abroad, but after that they've been in their constituency. Some even grew up in their constituency, but maybe after senior high school they went abroad to further their education. So they really know what is going on. And the more reason why they want to bring this on board is because they feel like these people are exposed to networks. They're exposed to how these countries, other countries rule their nations, and how they bring policies and initiative and how they're able to execute it. So when this dual citizens are being given opportunity, they can bring that on board, and that is going to change. But in a way, it still will not change, because we still have our leaders who have studied abroad and they are still behaving as if they've not traveled out of the country. So I don't know how well this is going to help us, but then I feel like it is good. And what happened to Jachi Kwesi was very, very bad. He won.
Yeah.
He won, but he wasn't given access to parliament because he wasn't a full Ghanaian. And I think
so
that
I think you agree with this
50-50 I do.
You have your reservations,
and
you equally have what you think will help. Because imagine a Chinese person as the chief justice. They are bringing their expertise from their country to add up to what we already have. So with that is the positive side of it, but let's look at the negative side
aspect
of it as well. Now Chinese form and the 70 years now the mama for a day, it will be more than that. Maybe when they come,
and I think that is going to be maybe some sort of seriousness.
Yeah, maybe when they come, maybe that's going to be by hanging. They'll tell you
straightforward.
Your judgment is that you died by hanging. Well, that's just by the way. Thank you so much for joining us on the news review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bliss.
Bringing you today in history and some few global observances. 1715, a deadly hurricane struck the east coast of Florida, sinking 10 Spanish treasure ships, claiming nearly 1,000 lives and sending an estimated 40 million pesos in gold and silver to the ocean floor. To some global observances, we have National Avocado Day, to honor the fruit's rich nutritional value, incredible kitchen versatility, and massive global popularity. We also have National Talk in an Elevator Day, encourages people to break the silent social contract of left right by starting a friendly chat, sharing a light-hearted joke, or meeting someone new. We also have Uncommon Instruments Awareness Day, to highlight raw, experimental, and unique musical instruments from around the world. It encourages people to listen to, learn about, or even build their own unconventional sound makers outside of mainstream instruments like the piano and guitar. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl.
Welcome to Debbie's Girl, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. Now, this morning, I want us to ask ourselves one question, and that has to do with: are we embracing corruption, or we are fighting corruption? Are we tolerating corruption, or we are putting in every effort, like we are putting in our mind to fight corruption? And that is based on what is going on of late in the country. There have been occurrences of incidents, and I wouldn't say it's a coincidence. It is not a coincidence. I will personally state it as something that is intentional. Now, I know this is a circulating news, and we are all aware. Yesterday, we woke up to for me, it was a blow. It was a big blow to me that Sedina Tamaklo, former CEO of Maslok, was not proven guilty, and so she has been discharged she has been discharged of everything, all the charges that have been laid against her. I mean, it has all been cleared off. The 10-year sentence that have been given to her, it has all been cleared off, which means that she automatically, they are trying to tell us that there is nothing like financial loss when she was a CEO at Maslok, and that cannot be possible. And when that happens, it means that the institution that did the investigation did not do what they are supposed to do, or maybe the findings they brought out was not true enough, or maybe they are hiding something from us that they need to tell us. Now my focus is on corruption. We are not serious as a country when it comes to corruption. And you see, issues like this is not just happening. We've experienced it over and over and over again. And you know what? The solutions are the same. Day in, day out, we come up with solutions that are equally the same. And you see, it becomes different when it has to do with the ordinary Ghanaian. The ordinary Ghanaian cannot seek for an appeal. The ordinary Ghanaian cannot be pardoned, but then a politician can be pardoned. A case involving a politician can be discontinued. And that is because they have the money, they can, afford a very intelligent, good lawyer that can stand in for them, and then they'll make that case a foolish case. And when it happens like that, the question still remains on whether we are truly, we are ready to fight corruption as a country. Because with what is happening, I do not see it as a way of we being ready to fight corruption. We are not ready to fight it. We are not. We are not ready to fight corruption at all in this country. We see that of NSS Ghost scandal, where people that do not exist were being paid money that are supposed to, that are meant for NSS personnel, were given to ghosts right here in Ghana. And then we were told that there is no money here. You see, that is why I debate with people a lot when they say that, when they tell me that there is no money in Ghana. There is money here in Ghana. We have money. A country that is full of gold shouldn't be poor. A country that has gold, a country that has silver, a country that has diamond, a country that has even oil, we should not be poor. We should not be seeking for arms. But here we are today. We have the gold. We claim, yes, Ghana was then called Gold Coast. And gold is money. Gold is money. So does it really make sense if a country is being termed as a gold country, and then the people within that country do not really feel the impacts of what they have? Then what is the essence of having that gold? So it means that the money we have right here in Ghana is being shifted into the bosom of some people. The money is enjoyed by just a few group of people. We can mention of a lot of corrupt cases way back up till now. I've never seen a politician that was jailed and that politician have fully served their jail term. Either the person is being given 10 years or 20 years, they don't serve their full jail term. They just serve half of it and then it ends there. They don't complete it. But when it has to do with an ordinary Ghanaian, you will have to serve your full jail term. There is nothing like appeal, you will serve it. But when it has to do with a politician, we keep dragging it. And then we are granting people bail. By the time we realize it, the case will become a foolish case. Someone who was charged with causing financial loss over 90 million to the state, stealing and money laundering, Sedina Tamaklo was convicted way back in 2022. But she did the same thing just like what Ken Oforiatta is doing now. and she absconded. And everybody kept saying, this woman needs to come and serve her jail term. She needs to come and serve her jail term. Lo and behold, she landed here in Ghana. We were told that she's in Nsawam. Whether she's there or not, we don't know, but we've been told that she's there. And all of a sudden, like, she has not been proven guilty. Like how? So the money that was meant for the traders at Kantamatu, where is the money? She went in the name of Maslok for a loan. Where is the money? Where is it? The money is nowhere to be found. Sometimes I just hope, I just hope one day, I feel like one day I should just wake up and then there will be a decree that there is nothing like we having a leader. Like the country is leaderless. My own English, like the country is leaderless. Because we don't even feel the impact of we having a leader. And let me take you way back to 2016. I don't know if you still remember Abu Gapele, former NDC member of parliament and national coordinator of JIDA. This JIDA was a government agency under the Youth and Sports Ministry, and they were supposed to create jobs for the youth. They were supposed to create jobs for the youth, and they ended up not creating those jobs. And this man that was the coordinator for this program caused 4.1 million financial loss to the state. And then he was being sentenced for 6 years. But in 2021, he was released because they said, he's not feeling well in the prison. You know, that is one excuse that every politician gives when they get there. They are not feeling well, and then their health condition is becoming something else. What of the ordinary Ghanaian who is there? Is he or she not a human? They are also human. So what is good for the goose is also good for the gangster. If you are doing something for A, you should do same for B. For the ordinary Ghanaian, is it not the same blood that is running through their veins? Yes. And it is the same blood that is running through the veins of these politicians. And you see, sometimes when the ordinary Ghanaian is being jailed, and then you hear the jail sentence that is being given to them pertaining what they've done, it doesn't tally. And then you see a whole government official causing financial loss like 90 million. Look at that of ECG. ECG is costing like 100 and something million to the state. Financial loss to the state. They are paying hotel expenses. They are paying cleaning expenses. They are paying communication expenses. And where they are supposed to spend like 2.1 million, they are spending like 9 million. Where they are supposed to spend like 3 million, they are spending like 10 million. And they could not answer to it. And we feel it's normal. We are only interested in exposing these institutions, exposing these people, but we are not interested in punishing them. Well, the only thing we know how to do in Ghana here is, as for that one, we are very good in that. Expose institutions that are so into corruption, individuals that are into corruption, but to make them face and dance to the tune of their own music, we don't do it. We don't do it. And so this is clear that the law favors some people, and then when it has to do with some commoner, it becomes something else. Because tell me why an ordinary Ghanaian will go and steal a plantain, a tube of yam, and then he or she will be jailed like 4 years, 5 years, and see, they will save it pepe. But when it has to do with a politician, it becomes a different story. Then they are telling us, they are speaking big English. And you see, all this money, when we want to gather this money, we could have used this money for something profitable. Here lies the case. We have leaders that do not even think about the people. They bring policies on board, they are not able to complete it. and then you not able to complete the project, and so the money that was meant for that project, ready, come and account to the people. You cannot account to the people. Okay, fine, you are not able to account to the people. The money is nowhere to be found. Jail the person we cannot jail the person. And then we keep quiet, and the issue dies out. And that's because you and I do not have that sole power. They have the power, they have the connections. It becomes so worse when their party is in power. And without, everything is playing on their favor. Everything is just going on well, just like it has been planned. And then when it has to do with the ordinary Ghanaians, it's like it between you and your God. You don't even know what is happening. Like, you can't even understand anything. Lest I forget, the National Cathedral is still there. It's looking us in the face. I can vividly remember how lawyers' bungalows were being demolished just because we want to build a national cathedral for a former president who claimed that he has promised God to build a national cathedral for him. And because of that, we need to pay 58 million up till now. They have not been able to account to us what they've used that money for. And the person who was in charge is nowhere to be found. We are still here. We are even confused. We don't even know whether he will come, he will not come. In fact, whatever we are hearing is hearsay. We don't know our right footing as it stands now. We don't know. And we think we are fighting corruption. We are deceiving ourselves. We are not fighting corruption. We are not. We are not. And you see, 2028 is just in the corner. Those same politicians will come and they'll be saying these things. Yeah, we need to arrest these people because they did so and so. And then immediately they gain the power, it's as if their mind have been twisted. They don't do what they are supposed to do. They don't do it. When this current administration came on board and they start exposing people, everybody was happy. When they exposed the NSS scandal, we were like, whoa, no one knows something of this what was going on. Where ghosts were being paid. We have humans that are working 24/7, serving the state. And they are being paid 700 cedis. Tell me, if somebody should give you 700 at the end of the month, what are you going to use it to do? 700 cedis in a month. And even with that 700 cedis, they don't receive it. They don't even get their money. Some will even, they have to finish their whole national service before they'll get that money. And that money does not even come in full. I still have colleagues who completed NSS and they are still there. Nurses, they're not getting their money. And then this money is being diverted into the pockets of someone who claims to be a patriotic citizen, a patriotic government official, and we are saying nothing about it. A lawless country, that is who we are. We have the laws. We are so good in crafting and drafting the laws, but we are not good in implementing it. We don't enforce it because we are scared that when we implement it, it will come hurting us because we know that we are thieves. That is who we are. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much for that hot girl, Miss Debbie. And thank you too for joining us on the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the morning news shortly. And right after that, we'll be back with the second segment. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it's just a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning news on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up this morning, former Attorney General Godfrey Adame disagrees with Court of Appeal ruling on Sedina Tamaklo's discharge. Former Chief of Staff rejects calls for presidential third term in the country. And also coming up, government accepts recommendation to allow dual citizens to hold public office except president and vice president. Government also accepts proposals to curb number of members of parliament at 300. We have details on these stories and many others coming up shortly. Former Attorney General Godfrey Adame has expressed strong disagreement with the Court of Appeal's decision to overturn the conviction of former Maslok CEO Sedina Tamaklo Ationu. The appellate court on Wednesday unanimously set aside Tamaklo's conviction and 10-year custodial sentence. Reacting to the ruling, Mr. Adame insisted the prosecution had proven its case beyond reasonable doubt during the trial. According to him, the evidence presented established the guilt of former Maslok CEO on the charges brought against her. The Court of Appeal's decision to overturn the conviction has generated renewed debate over the standards of proof in high-profile corruption prosecutions.
Seek a comment from the Attorney General because Sedna was convicted on very credible evidence and all, and he conducted the appeal. So find out from the current Attorney General what he feels about the acquittal of Sedna and why Sedna was acquitted. I don't know why she was acquitted. So find out from the current Attorney General why that happened. That will not be the case at all. You see in the judgment of the High Court, yes, Sedna actually absconded after she had actually been confronted with the evidence led by the prosecution. It was not for nothing. So I'm saying find out from the current Attorney General. You know the kind of opposition that he mounted to the appeal? Or was there any opposition at all? I don't know. That's it. As far as we know, yes.
That was dismissed.
Yes, and unjustifiably, as far as I'm concerned, because the matters that we raise are very fundamental. The charge sheet is very defective, but defective not only because of 2 counts that the judge struck out the last time, is the whole of the charge sheet is defective. And I think it's important that the Court of Appeal determines it, and we have filed an appeal and we repeat the state of proceedings. It's important that we know that when the state of proceedings is refused at the High Court, we can repeat it at the Court of Appeal. So we did repeat the stay at the Court of Appeal. Yes, because that's unjustified case, and that is unprecedented. It has never happened at all. I don't understand why they are in such ambulances. I mean, in the days of the MPP and all these trials were going on, did you see any of them being conducted in the vacation? Never at all. Never at all was any person tried in the vacation. Has never happened since 1982, and I do not think it should happen. And indeed, we protest the directive given by the Chief Justice for it to happen now. Why? What's the circumstances? Why so much urgent need to have accused persons tried in the vacation? If we've not been able to try Hanan or along, it's not my fault. It's their own doing that they discontinue the prosecution and all that. If all the charges have been defective and they decide to withdraw at one point and come back, and they have been ordered to amend and all that, it's their own doing. It cannot be as a result of my default. And so there's no justification for the order for the accused persons to be tried in the vacation. We are going to protest the directive and we'll do so accordingly.
The former Chief of Staff Nanato Dadzie has dismissed calls for a presidential third term, stating that Ghana's 1992 constitution clearly restricts a president to 2 terms in office. Speaking at a time with a politician program at the University of Ghana, Mr. Dadzie described the ongoing debate around extending presidential tenure as baseless and unnecessary. According to him, the constitutional provision on term limits was deliberately put in place to strengthen democracy, prevent abuse of power, and ensure peaceful transitions. He urged political actors and citizens to focus on governance, accountability, and strengthen institutions rather than engaging in discussions that undermine constitutional rule.
2 terms and intend to serve 2 terms. Other people sitting somewhere, they said they were going to Supreme Court to ask for what? They did not get right. I'm telling you. But we don't know how to cook problems. Do you understand? I've told you that the US, over 310 years, 2-term presidency, have worked for them. 330 years or thereabouts thereafter, the people decided that because of the war situation, because of the Great Depression, the challenges they were facing, they would extend the term for the president. The president went 4 times. I'm talking about 1945 to so it is clearly the people who have to determine whether the constitution says 2 terms, whether they want their president to do 2 terms or they want their president to do more. Of course, there are systems for dealing with such changes in the mindset of the people. Go to a referendum or whatnot.
Meanwhile, the civil society group Ghanaians for Progress has called on President John Dramani Mahama to reconsider his decision and contest in the 2028 general elections. The group says continued leadership under the president is necessary to consolidate ongoing economic recovery efforts and ensure policy continuity. Speaking on the issue, representatives of Ghanaians for Progress argued that the progress made in stabilizing the economy and implementing key reforms should not be disrupted by a change in administration. They called for a review of constitutional provision that limit a president to 2 terms in office. According to the group, amending the 2-term limit would allow experienced leaders to continue governing at a time the country needs stability and long-term planning.
But for decades to come. Over the past 1 year and 8 months, under the visionary and steady leadership of President John Dramani Mahama, we have witnessed a deliberate and determined effort to reset our economy, stabilize our national currency, and restore investor confidence, as our finance minister recently said. The path of recovery is never easy, but the foundation being laid demands steady hands to complete. And these are our imperative of extension and reforms. We note the immense public discourse and the legal and constitutional debate currently active across the country regarding presidential term limits, as we've witnessed in our media, social media, and other platforms. While we deeply respect the foundational laws of our republic, we firmly believe that the supreme law exists to serve the ultimate welfare and survival of the people. when a leader demonstrates exceptional capacity, as John Dramani has done, proving resilience and an unyielding commitment to fiscal discipline and national unity during times of profound crisis, the citizenry owes a moral duty to re-evaluate. So we are here to re-evaluate, as many have done. Rigid framework in favor of practical progress. A nation in the middle of vital economic and institutional reforms cannot afford an abrupt disruption in leadership momentum. This is our direct appeal to the President and the citizens of Ghana, and by extension, Asante. We therefore use this platform to officially and passionately urge His Excellency the President to reconsider and proud thought of stepping down, to make himself available to seek a fresh mandate from the people in 2028. To all citizens, workers, youth, traditional leaders, Nananom, and civil society organizations across every region of this country, we call upon you to rise above partisan divides. Let us rally behind this patriotic call for this continuity, stability, and growth. Let our collective voice to be louder than any bureaucratic restriction, and let us urge our leader to finish the noble work he has begun. And we have few challenges. The 1992 Constitution has ruled that limit president to 2 terms. This law stopped a good leader from finishing that good agenda.
The government has accepted a key recommendation from the Constitutional Review Committee that will allow Ghanaians with multiple citizenship hold public office. Announcing this, Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayinin, said the change means dual citizens will no longer be barred from contesting for key political positions. However, Dr. Ayinin clarified that the presidency and vice presidency will remain exempt from the new provision. The announcement was made during deliberations on the Constitutional Review Committee's report, which seeks to modernize Ghana's 1992 Constitution to reflect current realities. According to the Attorney General, the decision is intended to tap into the expertise, skills, and resources of Ghanaians in the diaspora. The recommendation has been part of long-standing calls for constitutional reforms to expand political participation and inclusion.
The government has also accepted a recommendation on dual citizenship. A citizen of Ghana by birth who holds the citizenship of another country will no longer be barred from contesting for election to parliament only on account of his or her dual citizenship, and will not be required to renounce the other citizenship. The current disqualification sits uneasily with our engagement with the diaspora and with the realities of modern citizenship. In line with this proposal, it is also the case that multiple citizenship will no longer disqualify a person from becoming, from holding certain, offices, except that of president and vice president of the republic. So the fact that you have multiple citizenship will not bar you from becoming Chief Justice of the Republic or becoming the head of the Electoral Commission or, for instance, becoming Speaker of Parliament.
The Attorney General has also announced that government has accepted a proposal to place constitutional curb on the size of Parliament. Under the new recommendation, a total number of members of Parliament will not exceed 300. Dr. Ayine disclosed this as part of government's response to key recommendations from the Constitutional Review Committee aimed at reforming the 1992 Constitution. Speaking on the rationale behind the curb, Webb, he said limiting the number of members of parliament is intended to promote efficiency, reduce the cost of governance, and make parliament more effective in its oversight role.
The government has accepted that the size of parliament be capped, and we propose a ceiling of 300 members. Now, the current membership of parliament is 276. So of these, the 276 will be elected directly in constituency elections like we already have. The remaining 24 will be elected or selected through proportional representation among women, persons with disabilities, and the youth. An independent study will be commissioned into the design of the proportional representation element. Capping parliament saves costs, and the reserve element opens the door of our legislature wider to those our politics has historically kept on the outside.
In business, Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman has called for urgent pension reforms across Africa, cautioning that nearly 85% of the continent's workforce remain outside formal retirement protection. Speaking at the opening of the 2026 annual conference of the African Pension Supervisors Association, the Vice President said the continent must rethink pension systems to reflect the realities of Africa's labor market, where a large share of workers operate in the informal sector and earn irregular incomes. According to her, current projections indicate the number of Africans aged 60 and above will exceed 226 million by 2050, making pension reform a pressing policy issue for government across the continent. The Vice President noted that traditional pension systems were largely designed around formal employment relation characterized by predictable incomes and regular contributions. She stressed that this realities requires government and regulators to redesign retirement systems to include informal sector workers. Professor Opoku-Agyeman also urged African countries to embrace technology as a tool for expanding pension coverage and improving service delivery. She highlighted digital identification system, mobile money platforms, financial technology solutions, data-driven supervision, and emerging digital infrastructure as chances that could significantly improve pension inclusion across the continent. On sustainability, the Vice President cautioned that pension system must balance a broad coverage with the ability to meet long-term obligations. The Vice President further stressed that public trust is central to the success of pension system. She also linked pension reform to Africans' broader economic integration under the African Continental Free Trade Area. The Vice President outlined accelerating pension inclusion, particularly among informal workers, harnessing technology and innovation to improve access and service delivery. She urged policymakers to ensure that economic progress is shared across generations. The African Pension Supervisors Association Conference brought together pension regulators, policymakers, industry leaders, and development partners from across Africa. To sports, all 55 UEFA member associations have voted to boycott FIFA competition if World Football's governing body proceeds with plans to sell stakes in its flagship tournament to private investors. The unanimous decision was reached during an emergency UEFA meeting convened to discuss the proposal unveiled by FIFA earlier this week. The proposed boycott will cover early FIFA competition, including the men's and women FIFA World Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup, should FIFA president plans receive approval from the organization's member association. The first potential impact could come as early as October, when the Women's World Cup playoffs are scheduled. In a strongly worded statement released after the meeting, UEFA said its members were united in opposing the proposal. president of UEFA arrives at the stadium prior to the UEFA champions, also wants to establish a commercial subsidiary to manage its major competition, including the World Cup, with external investors allowed to purchase ownership stakes. He has written to all 211 FIFA member associations, promising each federation $40 million if they support the proposal. According to the plan, associations that approve the proposal before 19 September would immediately receive an initial $20 million. UEFA had already made its opposition clear through two strongly critical statements before the emergency meeting. Following the latest vote, European governing body escalated its position by threatening a complete withdrawal from FIFA competitions if the proposal moves forward. On Wednesday, UEFA further accused FIFA of using football to enrich themselves, deepening growing rift between the two organizations. In showbiz, popular TikTok couple Pella and Jarvis have officially begun a new chapter in their love story after making their union legal with heartwarming registry wedding. The social media sweethearts signed their marriage document, marking the first official step in their journey as husband and wife. Photos and videos from the ceremony captured the couple glowing with excitement, sharing warm embraces, laughter, and unforgettable moments that melted the hearts of fans online. As the newlyweds celebrated the legalization of their union, congratulatory messages poured in from fans and fellow content creators, many hoping for a lifetime of love. On Global Update, the Bulgarian has signaled support for Morocco's autonomy proposal as a possible solution to the long-running Western Sahara dispute, describing genuine autonomy under Moroccan sovereignty as a viable path to resolving the issue. The position was announced in a joint communique issued after a telephone conversation on Tuesday between the Bulgarian Foreign Minister and Morocco's Minister of Foreign Affairs. According to the communique, Bulgaria's position is aligned with United Nations Security Council Resolution 2797. It also expressed support for Morocco's autonomy initiative, first presented in 2007, describing it as a credible basis for a negotiated settlement. The statement said Bulgaria reaffirmed its considers the autonomy proposal presented by Morocco in 2007 to be credible and realistic basis for reaching a lasting and mutually acceptable political solution to the issue of the Moroccan Sahara. The statement said the development forms part of effort to deepen bilateral relations between Morocco and Bulgaria. It added that its position reflects what it described as growing international support for Morocco's sovereignty over the Sahara and the autonomy plan advanced under the leadership of King Mohammed VI. And that's it on the morning news update. Thank you so much for sticking tuned to your radio. Do all to log on to all streaming platforms as well as logging on to our website at www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news stories. I am Deborah Adolso. Do have a good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.co or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries. Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto. Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
Your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Only on Ghana Talks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned. For the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way.
Good morning to you once again, and you're welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is your favorite online radio station, and as I said earlier, this is the only online radio station you can carry along wherever you go. In any part of the world you find yourself, all you need to do is just download the app on Google Play Store, Apple Store at Ghana Talks Radio, and you are tuning and you are good to go. Remember that you are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do all to log on this morning. Join us on the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We are going to be serving you breakfast this morning. I don't know if you want a water breakfast or if you want a solid breakfast. Some people are craving for wache, some people are craving for tea, cappuccino breakfast. Cappuccino breakfast. A lot of people are craving for a lot of things, but this morning the breakfast that I want to serve you this morning is about national issues and relevant matters that matter to you every morning right here on the show. And this is the second segment of the morning show, and you know how we do it. We come along with knowledgeable guests who are going to be delving into the issues. They are going to be sharing their informed perspectives on matters that matter to you every morning right here on the show. My name is Ruth Esenam Fiagbedu, and I'll be serving you breakfast this morning I have my guest already seated right here in the studios, and he is the NDC Communications team member in the person of Mr. Elliot Nene Aita. I just hope that I pronounced the name correctly this time around. He said I should call him Nene. I should put the Mr. aside.
Just put it aside.
Oh, okay. Nene.
Yeah, Nene. I feel like we've earned being on first name basis.
Oh, okay.
And I actually like the local vibe it brings. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Authentic.
I also like my local name as
Of
well.
course. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It carries a lot of weight.
It does.
The local names actually carry so much weight.
So much weight.
I'm not saying that the English names are not good though. They are, but my personal opinion, POV, I prefer to be called my local name than my English name.
Yeah.
So when I was in school, people didn't know I was Ruth. So we were completing.
Oh wow, you are Ruth.
Oh yes.
By somebody know you are Ruth. Yeah. So
you see?
Yeah.
But I mention it here.
Oh my God.
How have you been, Nene?
It's been good, It's been good. I would say it's been good. Like life is lifing, but like I always say, you always have to be on top of stuff, and I feel like it will make sense. Yeah, life is a journey. It's not about the destination. It's about no, I think I said that wrong. It's not about the destination, but it's about the journey. You have to enjoy all the things that you're going through. Yeah.
In actual sense, you can also say that it's not about the results, but it's also about the process.
The process.
In which you go through to make sure that you get the results you want.
Exactly.
So focus on the process.
Yeah.
Who knows? It could open a lot of doors for you.
Of course.
Motivational speaker. And then I was giving you motivation.
At the point in time, I think I am still though.
Oh, you are?
I motivate myself. Yeah, and try to.
You have to motivate yourself every
Of course.
day. You have to encourage yourself every day.
Of course.
You get it. You don't wait for someone to come and, tell you do this. Sometimes you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yo, man, I gotta do this.
Yeah. You do it too. I thought I was the only one.
Oh.
I thought I was the only one who sometimes talks to myself and be like, hey, you're messing up. You need to sit up. Like, I'm serious.
You're not the only one.
Yeah.
You're not the only one. It's good to have you this morning.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, so yesterday some parts of Accra were not having light. I'm hoping that wherever you find yourself this morning, you are having light. Were you having light yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. So
throughout the day?
Yes.
Oh.
At a point in time, when it rained, I think 2 days ago, and then the issues actually happened, the blackouts, but they were able to resolve our issue because it was not so severe. So I had light, but I do understand that some places don't have light. It's only because of the issues that but they are resolving it. And please, if you are currently not experiencing light like the way our beautiful host wasn't, I think you should really calm down.
I did though.
Oh, you had light.
Oh, okay. So yesterday, throughout the day, I think it came in the morning. We had light,
all right.
But all through, I think dawn, early in the morning, they took the light, and I'm just hoping that they don't take it today as well. Please.
I wanted to ask a question though. Why do people I feel like in Ghana, people feel like light is a privilege?
Isn't it a privilege?
No, it's actually a right. As in, it's something that.
Okay. I guess where you're coming from.
Yeah, exactly. So, this thing where when light comes on and we all shout, as if honestly, yes, you're happy.
Of course.
But I feel like we should move from the point of feeling like light is a privilege and we should own it. It's a right. And actually put, people who are in those positions to serve us good, to give us good service and continuous service to book, put them on their toes. Because if you understand that this is something that is actually a right and not a privilege, it will be easier for you to, because people usually think that, okay, because you communicate for your party, so maybe when things are not going the right way, you wouldn't talk. But I want the viewers to understand that this is not a type of tangent that I want to go, in the sense that I want people to remember this government, because if you look at how President Mahama is running his administration, accountability, good governance, every transparency. When I always say it everywhere I go, then that wherever we go, we have to make sure that we educate and teach the people the right way. So please, guys, let's stop thinking that light is a privilege. Turn it into a right.
Yeah, this is still the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Remember that you're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. And as part of the issues we'll be looking at this morning, we are looking at the Court of Appeal overturned Sedina Tamaklo's 10-year jail sentence, and also the Constitutional Review Committee report. These are the two topical issues we'll be looking at this morning. So that is what I'll be feeding you this morning for breakfast. But before we get into the issues of Sedina Tamaklo, let's look at the genesis of all this issue, where it actually came from and landed us to where we are today. Sedina Tamaklo was convicted by the Accra High Court in April 2024 after a trial that commenced on January 30th, 2019. She was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment after being found guilty on multiple charges arising from her tenure as Maslok Chief Executive. She had faced 78 counts, including stealing and conspiracy to stealing, willfully causing financial loss to the state, causing loss to public property, improper payment of public funds, unauthorized commitment, and money laundering. The prosecution, led by then Attorney General Godfred Yeboah Dame and relying largely on investigations conducted by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, alleged that Tamaklo misappropriated public funds through several Maslok programs. Among the allegations was the alleged diversion of 500,000 Ghana cedis loan intended for Obatampa Microfinance after the institution rejected the facility due to its interest rates. The prosecution also alleged the misappropriation of funds and marked for Maslok's sensitization programs, the diversion of relief funds meant for victims of the Kantamanto market fire, and inflated procurement of vehicles and mobile phones. At trial, the prosecution called 7 witnesses and relied heavily on a forensic audit report to support the charges. The Court of Appeal's decision overturns. Right, so that is it. So now let's get into the new development of this particular case, and that came in just yesterday, that the Court of Appeal has unanimously overturned the conviction and 10-year custodial sentence imposed on former Chief Executive Officer of Maslok, Sedina Tamaklo Ationu, acquitting and discharging her of all charges. The three-member panel, Justice Emmanuel Ankama, Justice Emmanuel Senyo, and Justice Samuel Obain, held that the prosecution failed to prove its case beyond reasonable doubt. In delivering its decision on Thursday, the Court of Appeal criticized the approach adopted by the trial court, stating that the land trial judge had lost sight of the constitutional principle that every accused person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. The appellate court further made observations about the manner in which the prosecution conducted the case and concluded that the evidence presented fell short of the legal standard required to sustain the convictions. The court indicated that its full reasons contained in a 94-page judgment would be made available by the close of yesterday. And I have it. Sedina Tamaklo was convicted by the Accra High Court. So that takes it back to the whole background and all the genesis of this particular issues. And not only that, we've also seen that the AG has actually filed for a stay of execution against Sedina Tamaklo's ruling. And all this came up just yesterday. Just Obiayeshi. And there's been a lot of questions popping up. Can we trust our judicial system? Our investigative bodies, are they not working? What is it? Can we fight corruption as a country at all? If a woman who was sentenced to 10 years in prison, and just yesterday, the judgment released by the Court of Appeal says that, woman, go and sin no more. You are a free woman, go. But they just say, for where? For here, stay where you are, I'm coming. Let me go to the Supreme Court, and then right after that, we'll come back with a judgment. But the Supreme Court hasn't given a judgment yet, but definitely there's going to be a new development on this particular case. So that brings us to where we are this morning. You've seen the judgment. You've read the judgment. You've read the reason why the Court of Appeal discharged this woman. And you've also read that the Attorney General has filed for a stay of execution against Sedinam Tamaklo. And obviously, I believe you've also watched certain interviews, especially from the former Attorney General. I was like, why are you asking me? Why are you asking me? Go and ask the current Attorney General. That was very funny, but it's actually serious. What is your reading into the developments of the Maslow case?
All right. Thank you very much, Esinam, and good morning to your listeners, our listeners. Good morning to everybody. Before I start, right, I'd like to say good morning to His Excellency, the President. He's doing a very fine job in, his governance. He has chosen good people like Dr. Cassiel, who is, working very hard. And then I also like to say good morning to Dr. Samia here and Anthony Joshua. Yeah. Just say Anthony Julius. He's so tenacious, so sometimes he's a heavyweight. So anyway, so I like to say that before I make my reservations known, I feel like the law should be differentiated from emotions, right? That is my stance on it. Because I followed the Tamaklo case. I'm still reading the 94 page because I just got it yesterday around 1 a.m. So I'm still reading it, but I have made notes on all the things, but I still need to get. But what I would say is, this goes to show that the court or the law in Ghana is working, right? Why will I say that? I feel like people are asking these questions based on emotions. Nobody should get me wrong. I am not backing injustice. I'm not backing lawlessness. I'm not backing someone who has been convicted. I don't know. I have no ties to her. But I always like to have. I always like to have my own mind whenever things come, and I always don't want to use emotions to explain matters of the law, because I feel like these are things that are written. Do you get it? And these are things that are followed to the latter. And upon reading the verdict of the appeal court and how they repealed and then she was allowed to go, I realized that it has a point. Do you get it? From that point of view, because there were a lot of loopholes and illegalities and things that they didn't follow, right? Because she was tried in absentia, right? Yeah. So for now, taking out the whole emotional bit, I don't think I have a reservation for them releasing her as at now. Until something else arises, then we can actually talk about it. But for now, we just have to, like you rightfully said, we just have to wait for what they've said, that okay, they will try it again, they will challenge it. Because currently, I read it. What I've read, like I scanned through. Scanning through it, I realized that, of course, there is merit for her to be let go. Do you get it? Because like you said, you mentioned in your statements that the tantamount to people who were supposed to really. Do you know that in the judgment, they wrote a witness came out and said that these beneficiaries got their monies, and then they even brought some people who came to state that they received their monies. Yeah. You get it? So that was another basis for overturning that. These vehicles, they also found out different thing. These 500,000 monies that were, they realized that she was not even the one who she was not directly linked to these things. Do you get? So all of these things are things that are showing or are backing the law that you cannot keep her there, because once all of these things are thrown out, what else do you have to keep her there? You understand? Yeah. So for me, I would just advise that, like yesterday during the press briefing of the committee review, the AG admonished Ghanaians that we should always read. I feel like that is our problem.
quick to react.
We are quick to react with our emotions. And I'm not saying emotions are not good. Emotions are very good. But when it comes to matters of the law, you have to always learn to differentiate your emotion from what is actually written. Do you get it? And then once that goes to, that, okay, fine, this is what it is. This is the reason why. You get it? And then you go and challenge it. And even just to talk about this thing goes to show you that the conversation we had last week, right? No, not last week. A few days ago.
Yeah.
And people were raising the fact that Wontumi is going to appeal and all of that. And I told the people that, of course, Wontumi, if he feels that he was wrongfully convicted, he has every right to to appeal.
Yeah.
And this ruling of the Tamaklo case, right, or these new changes should back what I said, in the sense that the court is working. So if Wontumi can take it there and he can get his overturned and thrown out, great. I think that's what I have to say about that. Those are my reservations on the current case. I hope I have answered to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah. So that is your whole reading into the case of Sedina Tamaklo.
Yeah.
And looking at how Ghanaians are agitating, that should actually tell you that people are expecting more from the government.
Yeah.
And that they expect that with all the campaign messages and everything, he told Ghanaian Operation Recover All Loot.
Yeah.
And then they are trying to recover all the loot, and then boom.
Yeah.
Reading certain comments, people mentioned that it was like a blow.
Yeah.
Right in their face, because on another land, you are trying so hard to defend the government. The government is doing well. These people, we trust that they are going to, make sure that they fight corruption. And here comes another case that the court has actually led a woman to go free. And one question people ask is, are we really ready to fight corruption?
I would say that this government is poised and ready to fight corruption, and we are fighting it. You see, oral was something that was set up, right, to uncover these things. And then there are thousands of cases. Do you get it? And the AG is going to take these on, right? The ones that hold water, the ones that have like evidence can be presented. I always say this: should we try cases that don't have evidence? Should we try, let's say somebody accuses me of doing something and you have no evidence? Should we waste state resources on those kind of things? So I feel like I would say this: the government is really doing something about corruption in Ghana. Why do I say this? If you look at what President Mahama has done, he has made sure that his cabinet, every appointee, anybody working under his government, right, is transparent in their dealings. So I feel like the approach he's taking is prevent it. Okay? Because power shifts. Of course, even 2040, power shifts from NDC. Right? Whatever you've done, if the MPP or any other party takes over, they would definitely like to come after all of these things. Do you get it? Based on maybe reservations they are holding or things they've seen, right? To also show Ghanaians that they can also do it. But what I would say is that the current government is actually accountable and is governing with transparency. So I am taking the approach of prevention is better than cure, right? And then if you are talking about the AG prosecuting all of these cases, look at this committee review, right? You know that it took them a whole year to actually work on the committee review, right?
Yes.
And then these are like forums that were going on, committees were set up and all of these things. The AG would, how will I even say this? Oh my God. He's only one man. And yesterday he was even commending his deputy for handling other cases whilst he was working on the committee review. Because trust me, if you have read the committee review, you see that there are a lot of important things that
reforms
that need to come, like the human rights bill that extends the entrenched act, right? Great. So what I'm saying is that we just came to power. It's not even 2 years yet, and then things were messed up in the previous government, and we are now fixing them. So I'm just promising Ghanaians that they should just keep calm. I know tempers are flaring because human beings, we usually want to see immediate effect. But you see, these things take time to be able to try a case, get evidence. If you rush, you might even make mistakes. And inside, in the law courts, if you are going through procedures and you make mistakes, your opponents can use that to get your case thrown out. So you see, these things take time. So just wrapping up, what I'm trying to say is that Ghanaians should be patient and then know that the rule of law will work under his excellency the president, okay? And then any case that is found with substantial evidence shall be tried. Honestly, I hold my own reservations in the Tamaklo case. I don't agree. You get me? Honestly, I don't agree.
You honestly think that she should face her?
Exactly. I think she should face it, or that's why I'm looking to see, like I mentioned, I'm looking to see how the appeal, or the you called it something,
the stay of execution.
Exactly, the stay of execution will go, if it will be granted, if they will go through another thing to review it. I'm really looking forward to that, because I don't want to use my emotional or my reservations I want to look at it from the point of the law. So I had my reservations when I saw it. That's what made me curious to read and then find information. Yesterday I was just calling people and then getting information until I got it at 1 a.m. Staying up at 1 a.m. when I have to be here very early. So I read these things and I realized that, okay, if this is the position that the law has taken, then I feel like, based on what I have on paper, my reservations are not valid. Do you get it? So that being said, I feel like Ghanaians should hold on and then let's see how it will go. Okay, because the AG himself stated yesterday that he hasn't read the full judgment on during the press conference. So what he's going to do is, but he also doesn't agree.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you should.
Why we saying that he has filed for an appeal.
Exactly, and Ghanaians are even saying that. What they are saying that he's just, people are saying that, oh, the MPP are saying that it's optics. How can you say it's optics?
Yeah, we've heard that is because Ghanaians are talking and the pressure is too much on the AG, so he has to do something. That is why we've seen that he has gone to file for an appeal, just to keep the people quiet.
No, but
what do you think about that?
No, I don't think we have a right to take that stand. Do you get it? Because that means we are thinking for him. How many people know what's going on in the AG's mind? And yesterday he said it, that he doesn't care about saving face. You get it? Because Tamaklo is a friend to him. You understand? He stated it.
Yeah.
And if someone is a friend to you and then you are declaring on air that you don't agree with the thing, what does it prove? You see, I always say, let's look at the things we have. Let's not try to assume for people. What we are doing is we are assuming.
Yeah.
I always believe that time and patience. If it's really optics, we will see it, won't we? If it's really optics, or he's just saying that to save face, with time, will we not see it? So Ghanaians should give him time. For now, I believe him, because so far, all the things that I'm seeing my government do, or His Excellency the President do, and his ministers and cabinet and everybody, Ghana is on the right direction, and it's just a matter of time. Everything will work out. Yeah,
it's just a matter of time and everything will work out. You mentioned that if it is optics, indeed we are going to see it. How are we going to see it if it's indeed optics?
You know, we have something in politics where if the thing is not going to materialize, right, you'd always have excuses.
So that means that with this particular filing of appeal, you believe that definitely it's going to yield a result?
Yes, because me, I want it I want it. For me, I agree with him going to challenge it. You get it? And then let's see where it will go. So we can only wait to see where it will go. But as at now, that is where we are. Do you get? That's why I don't believe it's optics until proving, like what the law could say, until proven beyond reasonable doubt. I won't make any reservations or say that it's optics, and I wouldn't advise anybody to also take that stance. Of course, people are entitled to their reservations, but let us always not be quick to judge people. Let us wait, because based on AG's current track record, why would you doubt him when he says he's going to do something? You get me? So let's give it time.
Right. Let's get into it as to why the courts of appeal acquitted Sedina Tamaklo.
Yeah.
So the trial judge, they mentioned that the trial judge improperly shifted the burden of proof onto the defense, violating constitutional rights rather than requiring the state to prove guilty. The charges, particularly regarding willfully causing financial loss, lack the necessary specifics to allow for a proper defense, violating constitutional rights to fair notice. They also stated that the prosecution failed to meet the required standard, relying on hearsay regarding alleged unproven sensitization program failures rather than calling direct first-hand witnesses. So due to that, the Court of Appeal had to quash the original judgment and set aside the conviction. The then former Attorney General was the one that took over this case, which is Godfred Dame. And looking at all these cases, looking at the resources that went into extraditing Sedina Tamaklo, and even the court itself, the judge that sat on this issue, Ms. Sewa, I don't know if she's a Mrs. Justice Sewa. What should this actually tell? Is the Supreme Court trying to interpret that the High Court is incompetent, the former Attorney General is incompetent, and the justice or the judge is also incompetent? Looking at all the incidents that have unfolded, and as to why they have to quash Sedina Tamaklo's conviction.
That is a really, really good question, Esina. I must commend you. You asked really compelling and deep questions. So I wouldn't say that the Supreme Court is trying to say that they are incompetent, because of course for people of that pedigree, that means that they are learned, and I'm not going to sit here and then do a disservice to anybody. But what I can say is that there are always lapses. Do you get it? And that is how the law works. The law works in a sense that you have to be thorough. And you see, in our daily lives, all of us have our lapses. Like they say, nobody is perfect. So I wouldn't say that I feel like they did their job to the best of their knowledge, or to what, because the law usually confines you based on what you have in front of you. So I'll just keep it short in the sense that I won't say that they did the Supreme Court is saying that. But of course, like you said, the AG is saying, if it is that the High Court did not handle the case well, he is taking it to the Supreme Court. Do you get it? That is if it is allowed, and he's taking. So it's just showing that, you see, the Supreme Court and the High Court all have their own capacity, and then usually when cases don't go well in this case, they move it to the next level. So that is showing that opinion, like your opinion, in a sense that if I can't do your job better than you can do mine, right? Same here, because of course you will be more well versed in your job, I'll be well versed in mine, because we are actually focusing on this. You get it? So I feel like we shouldn't take that stance. They've done their job to the best of their knowledge. We should just let the legal frameworks and the law in Ghana work, and just give it time. That is my answer for that. Let's see what the Supreme Court will also come if it is agreed and pushed there. Yeah.
Would you say that this case was equally rash, in a sense that, or a political witch hunt, in a sense that Godfred Dame was the Attorney General for the previous administration, and Sedina Tamaklo also happens to be an NDC and also the CEO of Maslog, And so it could be that they were trying to, put your person or your people into jail.
No, I wouldn't say that. You wouldn't
say that.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Because listening from the Court of Appeal, it says that the evidence you have brought are not substantive enough.
And that is the stand of the court. You know, the reason why I wouldn't say that it's a political witch hunt or Tamaklo is a political prisoner like the way they are tagging one to me. You see, like I started earlier, I always have the stand that let us let the rule of law work, right? In the sense that if someone steals or someone is alleged, apologies, I like to use that word. If someone is alleged of stealing or someone is accused that they are allegedly corrupt, we should let the law take its course, right? And then whatever ruling will come out should come out. That's I always say that it's always good to have good legal counsel. Like I stated last time, I'm going back to that because these are words that I always want my words to correlate, in the sense that I told them that it is good that maybe Untumi is changing his legal representation, right? And getting MPP is giving him new legal representation to go and challenge it, right? And we welcome that. How would I take a stand that this is a political witch hunt? I would never do that, because of course they said every rumor has some truth in it. Exactly. So in order to uncover this truth, it has to go to the courts, right, for us to uncover it. So I wouldn't say that it's I would say that we should let the law work, okay, and then we should see how it goes. Yeah,
we should see how it goes. This is still the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be having our MPP communicator join us shortly. He has just texted that he's on his way. We can't wait for him to also get into the studios. Let's hear from him, his opinion on this. But join us on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do all to join us this morning. Let's get interactive radio on the show. We are still discussing about the issue of Sedinam Tamaklo, what the Court of Appeal had to say, and also what the AG is also doing. All right, back to you, Nene. I nearly said Mr. Elliot again. Right. Would you say that it was a disadvantage convicting Sedinam Tamaklo in absentia? Because there are certain questions that she should have answered, but because she was not there,
okay,
they just had to proceed and convict her in absentia. Do you think that it was a disadvantage?
No, because I feel like let me not say I feel like, from my readings, right, she requested leave, and then they gave her her passport for medical reasons, right? The court, in its own knowledge, and mind you, this court was in it's in MPP time, right? So that means they had all the resources, right?
Yeah,
they gave her access to go, and then she did not come back when she said she was supposed to come. So those who who stood in her sureties, they lost all of that. Okay, that being said, they still continued with the trial, and this is also another basis that was even used to throw out the case from court, because they are saying that it is not wrong to trial somebody in absentia. Do you get it? And then this still went on. So in a way, I would like to say that if you know that the person needs to be there, I really don't know, because I'm now going to start my studies in law. But what I'm going to say is that I have witnessed a few things in the court before, in the sense that when we were doing my mother's early, right, we didn't actually go to the court. We did it online. You get it? So I don't know, but I will find it and read it to you, because I made a note on that particular thing. But then she was still trying that. So I will not say that it was a disadvantage, because the court, in its knowledge, should know if it will be a disadvantage. Do you get it? And then maybe find a way to mitigate that. But they still went ahead with it. So once you have gone ahead with it, you can't come back and come and complain that it was a problem. Can you? You see, that is my point. Because you were the same person who allowed her to go. And then she didn't come back. The trial still went on. You get it? and then you still made a verdict, and you extradited her, and she started serving her what? Her term. Do you get it? And then subsequently appeal was made. So how can you now be saying that you were disadvantaged? You got your what? Your sentencing. She was sentenced. So you can tell me if you were disadvantaged if you didn't get your sentencing. But she was sentenced. And for you, justice was meted out. And then her lawyers, right, appealed. And they got it overturned. So, like I'm saying, we shouldn't use our own reservations when it comes to the matters of the law. We should always read and then make sure that we are actually interpreting it based on the law, not based on our reservation. So I wouldn't say it was disadvantage, because if it was, the judge should have known and then stopped it. But at the end of the day, you still got justice, and she was jailed. So I feel like the processes went through, and then nobody can actually say that he or she was disadvantaged. Yeah.
Well, let's get into it as to why the Attorney General is filing for a stay of execution. The reason he actually outlined, and he said, the state is deeply concerned she will leave Ghana again, because you've seen that she left Ghana and he had to take the state certain monies, funds, resources to get her extradited, to come back to come and serve her jail term. And so that is one reason why the Attorney General says that no, she should stay where she is till the case is done at the Supreme Court, because they are concerned she will leave Ghana again, because she originally left for medical treatment in 2021 and spent years in the United States. The state just spent significant time and resources getting a U.S. federal court in Nevada to approve her extradition back to Ghana in June 2026. As I mentioned earlier, the resources that were actually involved to get her extradited back into the country. And if she is released and flees a second time, the state's upcoming Supreme Court appeal will become practically useless. So this is why the Attorney General filed for a stay of execution. The Attorney General publicly emphasized that the original High Court conviction was completely solid and based on hard financial evidence, and a stay keeps her at the Nsawam medium security female prison to maintain the status quo. If the Supreme Court eventually reverses the acquittal and restores her 10-year sentence, the state wants to ensure that she is already in custody to serve it. So just in case the Supreme Court goes back into the case and find out that you're a woman, you are guilty, we wouldn't have to spend another money to go all the way back to extradite her, because so this is why the AG filed for a stay of execution. Do you think that his reasons are valid?
I agree. I really agree, because like you rightfully see, Madam Host, I have to commend you. You are learned, and I like the way
it's part of my job.
I watch a lot of shows, right? And I feel like you don't use your reservations to base your arguments. Because I watched a video of Anthony Julius, who was, and then it was like the host was the MPP communicator, and it was,
when we state the fact, that's how they say
exactly, and it's very unprofessional. But I would like to say that we've already established here that she flouted the how will I say the leave she was giving, and she didn't return. So exactly, the AG is right to say that they should put a stay of execution so that she would be there until it is cleared up. So I agree. I totally agree. Yeah.
And with that as well, you've seen the minority just yesterday, right after the Court of Appeal gave out their verdict, the minority, which is from the NPP, I saw a press statement signed by Justin Kudria stating that if Sedinam Tamaklo has been freed, then Wontumi should also be freed. Comparing these issues, what would you say? Because they are obviously not the same.
I have said here before that usually these people or the MPP are saying that rule of law is actually not working in Ghana, right? But this goes to prove to you that our courts and the law is actually working. You get it? So I stated this a few days ago when I was here, that Wontumi should what? The appeal that they say they are doing, they should do it. This case goes to show you that if you go and you present a good case, you might get Wontumi sentence also overturned. And let me remind you, yesterday I was searching, right, prior to preparation to this interview. I was searching, I realized that that it was the same MPP who did Wontumi a disservice.
How?
It was 3 years.
Yeah.
And former president said that he will put his career on the line. So you see, at that time we were also arguing that it was optics. You get me? So, but it wasn't optics. Maybe we were assuming for him, and he was saying that he will put his political career on the line because he will deal with galamseyers, right? And so he has done a disservice to his own person. You understand me? So I feel like, make your case, prepare your evidence, go through appeal. If the courts find your arguments solid, Wontumi will be acquitted. And then we will not have anything to say. But don't correlate it and say that based on this. The law doesn't work like that. Based on this, so we should do this. No. Follow that channel, or what has happened should even show you that you can also get acquitted if you are able to get a solid front. So that's all I'll say.
So, with the minority calling that if Sedinam Tamaklo has been discharged, Wontumi should also be discharged, then I'm telling you that looking at the proceedings or the process that Sedinam Tamaklo followed, you can also follow the same process. And who knows, there could be a chance that the Court of Appeal could also overturn, decrease or increase your jail term.
You need a clock it for that.
Who knows? So go through the same process.
Yeah.
As Nene has stated. Your final words on this particular issue. We're supposed to have our MPP communicator, but I don't know what is actually happening, that he's running so late, because I really wanted to hear from him.
Yeah,
as
myself.
Well.
I was looking to see him, to hear what their thoughts is on this case, because of course people would say that I am here and I am backing my party. So of course with him being here would have really helped, prove our cases. So to end it, or to end that topic,
and you can also say a few words about corruption. If really looking at all these things, the incidents unfolding, if the public really have confidence in our judicial system.
Okay, I will say that. Let me answer the latter.
Right.
The public should have faith in the law, because unlike previous governments, President Mahama is someone, you see, when we say he's in his legacy term, people don't understand. This time, or this term, is a time for him to prove to the Ghanaian people the leader he is. And if it was you, he said do something before you die, right? What would you do? So even if you look at how he started his administration, right, telling all his appointees to declare their assets, do this, do that, even right now in the committee, in the constitutional review, saying that president will pay tax and all of these things. What does it show? It goes to prove that this is a president who, I said it before, I'm going to say it again, who prioritizes transparency, good governance, rule of law. And then we've also seen time and time again where President Mahama has tried even his friends. Do you get it? So do you think that such a leader would allow the rule of law not to work? No. So Ghanaians, please trust in President Mahama. Trust God through President Mahama. And also we should trust the law, because the law is, how will I say, is what we live by. In Ghana, Omuka says a law in Chiwi, Aujin said there's no law, but there is law in Ghana. And then we should allow it to what? To take root. That's why I always advise people that whether you are a lawyer, you don't have to be a lawyer to read the laws of Ghana. You see, as a Ghanaian, if you have the privilege to be able to read, and now you have children or people who can read around you, you should have a curious mind to tell them to read these things to you so that you can brush up on the law of Ghana. Like a police will meet you, right? And maybe, or the law be real. Because you don't know your rights, you don't know the laws of Ghana, what happens? They can just bully their way through. But so I feel like it goes hand in hand. For the courts, for our courts to work, right? We also need to work. What you say? We also need to get up to speed with this thing. So please, Ghanaians, let us trust our president that he will deliver. Let us also trust our legal system that it will work for us eventually.
That it will work for us eventually. So that will be your last words on the issue of Sedinam Tamaklo. And that's when we have our NPP communicator joining us. I think maybe I'll be lenient enough or nice enough to give him some time to also share his. He's here. Oh, Enoch is already here. Oh, okay. It's good to have Mr. Enoch. Hey, Mr. Enoch. Mr. Enoch. Mr. Enoch. Mr. Enoch, please sit down for me. You see, you just expose yourself.
Why?
You just expose yourself. Everybody knows that you were late. So please, apologize and let's proceed.
Oh, they said I should apologize.
Of course, you have to.
Good morning to our viewers and listeners. It's been a while. I would like to apologize. You guys should forgive me. I go home around this door, me cook for you. I'm saying that and I can't say we am about boy. So apologies to our host and my co.
I am glad you are here so that nobody will say that you
are supporting your
exactly. Yes, so at least you can have perspective. Perspective is always good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very important. And it's nice you two are parents.
I know, right? I was about to say that.
Yeah, twinning.
You are twinning. Yeah.
Exactly. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right. So let's get into it. On the issue of Sedinam Tamaklo, what is your reading into?
He's done taking his take.
We were even proceeding to the second.
Exactly. We've been here almost an hour.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
I had to prolong. I had to prolong most of my my answers.
Indirectly.
I wish I heard what your take was.
Oh, you were not following whilst you were away.
I was sitting on a motor.
Do you know what we can do? You can make your statement because my reservations are all short and
okay. Let's go. So was he defending it or he said?
Let's hear what you have to say.
Travesty of justice.
Please, let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think it is important that I greet again. So good morning to those of us listening and watching us everywhere in the part of the world. In fact, yesterday was a sad day for our democracy and our judiciary. In fact, personally for me, I was never surprised of the outcome of the ruling.
Oh, you were sad? Why? Why are you sad? What happened?
I'm saying I was never surprised.
Oh, you were not surprised? It was something you were expecting?
Of course.
Why? Why were you expecting that?
I'll get there. But again, it is a sad day for our democracy. Because as a country, we believe that day in, day out, we are supposed to grow when it comes to democracy. I believe in separation of powers very, very well. Baron de Montesquieu saying that yes, it is important that each arm of government works solely independently, and that is what we are supposed to see. Yesterday, what we saw is something I hope and pray we never see again in our democracy. It is something I just hope that it never crosses again, because what we saw was a dent on our Ghanaians' democracy, was a dent on the judiciary, was a dent on even the executive arm of government, because this is not where we want our democracy to get to. Fast forward, we were in this country where Madam Sedinam Tamaklo and others were accused of financially misappropriating funds. They were sent to court to stand trial. In fact, there were about 78 charges, of which they were all found guilty. Not even one was excluded. If you go in and listen to the issues very well, you will be sad listening to the former Deputy Attorney General this morning. There was a playback on his video when they were about to proceed to court when it comes to Madam Sedinam Tamaklo and the issues. One had to do with a banking issue with a rural bank, where they had sent the money into the bank already before discussing interest rate, where the bank told them that for this interest rate they can't pay, and requested that the Maslock should give them their bank account where they transfer the money back to them. The CEO, Madam Sedinam Tamaklo, requested that they cash out the money and meet her with the money in a Ghana Must Go at a filling station. Very, very sad. Looking at the cars they procured, 350 cars, they tripled the amount. In fact, get time and go and read Madam Sedinam Tamaklo's case, of which she was sentenced 10 years, tried in absentia. Then today, we sit here and Madam Sedinam Tamaklo is free, just like you and I. Isn't it sad to our democracy? Isn't it sad to our judiciary? And I find it sad when I see my colleagues, NDC, young guys like myself, who have taken it upon themselves to be defending this undefendable thing, defending this abysmal, dirty thing that we are seeing, of which should never cross path in our democracy. Someone sits down, decide to misappropriate funds, then we let her go because her party is in power. What precedent are we setting down? We set the precedent that still, let them try you, get away, run to outside. When your party comes power, appeal, come back, and then you'll be set free.
Right. You said that she's being freed because her party is in power. What are you trying to insinuate? Does that mean that the court is being influenced?
I cannot sit here and say the court is being influenced, but I leave that to the discretion of the ordinary Ghanaians, because what we saw yesterday was something that should never come close to our democracy and our judiciary.
But you read as to why the Court of Appeal had to discharge her.
You read that part where they told us that they did not present all the documents, and the court decided that it is as a result of their doing, and he will proceed with his ruling. Because if the Attorney General decided not to present documents, it should not affect the ruling the court will give. That is where we've gotten to.
But did he present it?
The Attorney General?
Yes, did he?
Unless we go and ask who is the current Attorney General is, and then you finish and come and tell us that you are appealing again. You think we are acting a movie in this country, so we should sit down and watch you. And you know what makes me a little bit happy? Some notable voices, and they decided to be quiet. Yes, when to me were jailed, those were the same voices shouting in this country, and that is what makes the whole thing sad. Some few weeks ago, you sent someone to jail. You saw your oral account on Facebook publicizing that oral is back. Meanwhile, my sister, you and I know that Wuntumi's case has nothing to do with oral. But because your oral has shamefully failed, you want to hide under the guise of Wuntumi's case to tell us it is oral. Madam Sedinam Tamaklo's case is the first oral. Recover all loot. You've left her to go scot-free. If you're an NDC person, if you're a Ghanaian, you join the 6 million people who voted for NDC, you should bow down your head in shame this morning, because whatever reason you want to vote for President John Dramani Mahama, he has failed.
Enoch, I want you to be clear on something, that when you mention that a government has failed, what has that got to do with the court?
What has that got to do with the court? Again, wherever you want to push me to get to this money, I will not go there.
Why won't you go there?
I will not go there.
Because
you are making statements. You see, I'm quiet listening to you because I don't want to
certain
interject.
allegations.
Yeah, you don't have to even interject.
To make it look as if the government is
I
actually
am not
influencing
those type
the
of
court.
NDC communicators
Good,
who would come anytime.
good.
I would make my point because I deal with facts.
Don't worry.
But
you.
when you are
Thank
making
you.
statements, I hope you have facts to back them. That's why I like where you are going.
You said when I'm making
Statements. I hope you have facts to back them.
Whatever I'm saying here, they are not factual.
They are not, because how can you, like she's asking you?
Madam Sedinam Tamaklo.
No, that's not the question. No, please don't go there. That's not the question she asked you.
You're already
She asked
interjecting me.
No, hold on, because right now we're having a dialogue. She asked you a question.
We are not having a dialogue.
No,
I'm on the
hold
floor.
on, hold
We
on.
are not
You
having
on
a
the floor,
dialogue.
but you posed the question to me.
I have not posed the question
Hold
to
on.
you.
She asked you a question. I want to ask you. On what point?
You cannot ask me. I am
Why
on the
can't
floor.
I?
Alright, so I asked that
Okay,
question.
so ask that question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What I'm saying is very simple and clear. Looking at the sentence of Madam Sedinam Tamaklo, 78 charges of which she was guilty of all, together with the accused, there is no way that this woman could have her way in court if her party was not in power. I think you want us to go to that that tangent.
Why?
Why?
Why is it why? Why? Answer.
What I'm saying is simple.
It is not simple. Why?
No, please.
That's my question.
Please,
why?
Please, I beg you.
You see, let us know. I always say that when we get the opportunity to sit on television, right?
Please,
let us speak to facts. Because me over here, I will speak to facts.
Please, I'm begging you.
Why?
Is he aware I can do more than what he
Please, I'm begging you. Let's
this is
not
your
go
first
there.
time meeting me.
No.
You know that.
Please
if you are saying that
to
you are
me.
aware you can do more than that, then
Gentlemen.
you are in for a really, really big surprise.
Gentlemen, please,
trust me.
Gentlemen,
because I would not only do that based on just brouhaha. I would do that based on facts.
Hi, please. Can you listen to me?
Apologies, Madam Host.
Allow him to flow.
Yeah.
So if you have anything to say to
now,
that,
please let him know that when he's flowing,
I'll give you time
and we ask questions.
So you can actually jot that down.
All right.
think I said
Thank
that
you.
Hello.
Thank you.
So you can jot that down so that
Yeah.
if you have anything to say,
please
then
do
say
not
to us. So please don't try
attack.
to interrupt.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right.
Thank you.
It is very simple. Sometimes I decide to come calm, depending on the issue. But my point is very simple.
Yeah.
I'm very, very concerned when it comes to communication. When someone is on the floor, no matter how dirty or how wild you want to go on my party, I decide to sit, and then when you finish, I can make my rebuttals. It is not nice if you want to do communication and you want to go on this style or tangent. We can do it, but it is appropriate that when your colleague is on the floor speaking, you keep whatever reservations you have. Then after the person is done, you come in. I don't know for whatsoever reason you are doing this, but actually it is not nice and it is not the best, and you are not even the host to be posing questions at me.
Right.
So I'll plead that you allow me. If not, I can leave it for you so that you have a one-man show.
We don't have enough time. So
thank you. What I'm saying is very simple. Looking at 78 charges against Madam Sedinam Tamakulu and others, of which I have mentioned the reasons of which she was convicted, tried in absentia, and given imprisonment, and then looking at the appeal that she has been able to get herself out of court set free yesterday, it clearly tells us that in this country, still loot, run away. When your party comes to power, come back, you'll be set free. If you don't understand this principle, you can take it away. But the ordinary Ghanaian who were on Facebook, who were on X, who were on Instagram yesterday, have seen and are aware of whatever that has transpired. So as a young person with conscience, if you want to sit on any TV station this morning, if you want to take your phone and then defend this, then we should be afraid of the future that we have. If these are the same young people who want to be tomorrow's future, we should be scared. A party that gathered garbage for us, telling us that they are coming to recover all loot. They have one of their own who has looted state. That same party has gone to stand behind that person, and as that person has gotten herself free out of court, should we trust that that party will be able to fight that oral, or will be able to fight that corruption they are after? Then it means tomorrow, if an NPP person is being sentenced, we will call that person a political prisoner, because you had one of your own. You see, what amazes me is that they have no principles. Because if they were a serious political party, they would have used Madam Sedinam Tamakulu's case to whitewash their oral, showing that even one of our own went on an appeal, we have still sentenced her. And what pains me is that they think we are all fools, sorry to say, in this country. I will not mess words. You brought somebody in this country, you told us that she has been extradited to this country, we never saw pictures. You told us that if you want to see her, we should write to Nsawam. If he agrees, we'll come there and come and see her. I don't know if up to today you saw a picture of Madam Sedinam Tamakulu moving from airport to any place. We were told that she's being protected by security. Tomorrow they told us she's not well, she's in wheelchair. Fair enough, you played the game to task. Your party is in power, you've had your way today. Sit here and defend this. But what we are saying is that the Ghanaian people who entrusted vote in you have seen it. and I've seen who the NDC is. It is shameful and it is sad that the judiciary we use to uphold with integrity and dignity in this country, where when you and I had issues, the executive had issues, the legislature had issues, we ran to. It is us, that same judiciary, that we want to do it this way. I am sad as a Ghanaian this morning. I will not mince words. I am very sad that this is the point we've gotten to. That someone, I don't want to miss words, but who allegedly is said to be a thief, looted our money, is set free to walk free today. So it is how do I say, you set a precedent for the NDC appointees that you dear loot. When MPP comes to power, tell them you are not war. When you admit you will be tried in absentia, stay there. When the party comes to power, calm down. When you calm down, you'll be set free. Thank you.
Right, but we've heard from the Attorney General and that he has filed for a stay of execution to the Supreme Court. Don't you think that we should wait for that judgment before we start accusing the government of allowing its own?
So who defended the Republic? Because the state was against the Republic. Sidinam Tamakulu and the Republic. Who defended?
But who started this whole?
But MPP is not in power. So there should be somebody who should be there for the Republic. Isn't it the Attorney General's office? Or they are not aware? You see, that kind of acting or movie they want to act with us. You see, and that's what I'm saying. They see us, sorry to say, because this is a case against the Republic. How do you call it? Sedinam Tamakulu against the Republic. And when we say the Republic, it is the Attorney General's department. What are they telling us? They should spare us the fallacy and the jokes. Enough is enough. We are not kids in this country. Then you finish, you come and tell us that you are filing an appeal, a stay of execution. Go and continue to do it. We are all in this country. They've seen the backlash that is coming at their office. The President John Dramani Mahama has seen it. They never thought that. They thought that Sanomu Ghana for Sanet, but yesterday I was happy seeing some Ghanaians standing for what justice should be. Madam Sedinam Tamakulu in any serious country should never see outside. He should serve his jail term so that it will serve as a deterrent to the other political appointees serving today. But where have we gotten to? It is sad. So forget those Kumewood movie that they are acting with us. That is what they've been doing. That is their modus operandi. If you know them, you know them. That is what they've been doing. But tomorrow, when we hear, and again, let's set the facts straight. Woon to me was never jailed because of oral. Woon to me's case has nothing to do with oral. It was not part of the garbage Okujeto and the Mlevo and the others gathered. Woon to me's case was never said that he was doing galamsey. Let's state that record straight. Woon to me's case has to do with he had a concession and he gave it to one Mr. Henry Okum and others of which they were doing the galamsey. Let's state that record straight, and it is there. Thank you.
Right, I'll give you 2 minutes to then we proceed.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Madam Host,
Yes,
you gave him a lot of time.
Yeah, I gave you a lot of time.
You know,
He was
so
not here.
was no, Madam Host. Thank you very much for bringing that up. So you see, my brother, I want to tell you something. Okay, you never answered, Madam Host. Did he answer your question? The question to him was the statement he made about Mr. President, right? He didn't answer your question. And then all he is doing, all I'm seeing him doing is trying to incite Ghanaians emotionally. Chairman, I did my my fact checking about you, and I know you are learning the law. So that means that you know that in law we don't deal with emotions. Hold on. We don't deal with emotions in the law courts, okay? And in the first place, if you want to advise me about proper ethics when it comes to communication, please, when they give you a time, come. Okay, because in the first place you cannot stand here and disrespect me and the host and the whole Ghana Radio Talks and Ghanaians who have joined to listen to you. And hold on, you decided to come any. Oh, please hold on. You decided to come anytime you want. Why am I saying that? Oh, I'm not angry. I have to be audible, and because he was also doing the same thing. So yesterday I was in Kumasi. My job is a very tedious job. Okay, I was in Kumasi yesterday, and I told you that as at 2 a.m. I was up. But what time was I here? I'm answering what he said. I'm coming to what he's saying. Do not say that. Do not sit here and say that communication, because you had the time to come and make your statements. And what I'm saying here is, if you had come, the reason why I'm making this statement, if you had been here early, you would have realized that in my statement, I never said that I am for Tamaklo being released. Let me teach you. I'm one of the NDC people who deals with facts. Even if you are my brother and you loot, right? I will say let the law courts work. And nobody has ever stated that Oral's case is the same as. I have never stood here to state that Oral's, please. I've never stood here, please, Madam Esinam. Did I ever say that Oral's case is it correlates to Wuntumi's case? No. What I am saying is, my brother, the same way that the courts are working, it was your own AG that tried her, right? And how can you tell me that Attorney General is doing optics? Are you in his mind? He has stated his own. You cannot, you see, I want to say something. When we go on air, let us not use derogatory words like garbage and some things when we are communicating. Because these people are what? Are people you will become one day. Would you be happy if someone sits and tells you that a work that you spend time to do is garbage? Just say that it is baseless. So it is going to show that in your communication skills you are attaching attacks.
It's okay. Let
us not attack. No, he was adding. No. He was adding personality.
Please, I beg you.
Madam Esinam.
No, I won't allow that here.
Madam Esinam.
This wouldn't be used as a
please.
medium.
Can I make a statement?
To attack personalities.
No.
Let's speak to the real issues.
Yes. Can I make a statement? Please let me make my statement. I was not attacking him or his personality. He made it. You see, I'm answering the statements he made. Right. He made statements
I think this time around is getting too personal.
Okay, then please let him know that when he comes, he should also speak to fact in the sense that he was talking about my communication and your and I didn't like that.
Right, that's
speak to the fact. That is why I told him that if you want to go there, the way I will take you, you might even relax. So let me just speak to the facts. My own is, listen, I do not side with Tamaklo being released. I said it here. And I am saying that this goes to even show that the rule of law is working under His Excellency the President. Okay? So just like the way appeal was done and the process went through and then Tamaklo was acquitted, it's the same process you have to follow for Wontumi. And if you go and you have evidence enough, I don't have anything to say about that. Do you understand me? But you cannot sit here and say that President Mahama, in all his wisdom, his system is not working, and then the courts are not working under him. What about Ken Oforiatta? Where is he? You are saying that, and your own statement that we should be here, and then our people should loot, and then when it's time, you say that you are sick. What did Ken Oforiatta say? He's sick. Say, and he went to the states. You see, me when I come, I always say when we get the opportunity to be on radio or television, let us not speak with emotion. Let us educate the public. Why? We should speak the truth to them, not make assumptions on air, because you are a learning lawyer. You want to become a lawyer, and the first thing they teach you in law school is that you have to always speak to facts and evidence. Don't speak and incite people with emotion. No, my brother, right. I just want to correct something. What we are saying is speak to facts. Tamaklo's case, I do not side with that. I am saying that let us wait for the appeal to go through, and if for the stay of execution
to go through,
and don't come and say that it is Kumawood. On what basis are you saying it's Kumawood? Are you the AG's brother? Are you his PA? Are you his friend? Are you in his ministry? On what stance will you say it's optics?
2 minutes now.
And for whom? Who can say 10 minutes? No, my own is don't stand here and make assumptions, because you are learning to be a lawyer, and as a lawyer you have to know that whatever statement you make,
right,
you have to be able to stand by it, my brother.
That's enough.
So let us let the law work.
Right, that's enough.
If I want to mention a lot of illegalities during President Akufo-Addo's time, I have respect for that man a lot. If I am to mention a lot of things,
gentlemen,
we don't want to go there this morning, my brother.
Gentlemen.
Is that what?
Gentlemen, it's okay. It's okay. Let's calm down.
Did you see what he said?
No.
Madam Esinam, did you see what he said?
I didn't hear what
he said. Nobody cares the respect I have for President. It's a statement I was making.
It's okay.
It's a statement I was making.
It's okay.
My brother,
it's okay.
My brother. If you are listening to what the host is saying, you know that
gentlemen,
I would accept. You know something? I watched two videos. And I realize that this is your style of communication.
Elliot.
Attacking the persona instead of the facts.
Right.
Who is doing that?
Please.
I'm not attacking you. I'm speaking to things you said.
Yes. Please. Everyone is watching.
Yes.
The whole world is watching.
And I want them to know.
Let the audience make their
so
final.
if we are communicating this way, what
perception
are you passing
if
out
you
to the
are
audience?
no, make the point
in the
no,
first
please.
place,
I'm on the floor.
Yeah.
Thank you. If we are communicating this way, what perception are we growing in the minds of the audience? We came here to have a very productive show. You pass out your opinion, he also passed out his opinion. Whether you agree or not, everyone has an opinion.
Exactly.
Whether you agree or not, that is your own issue. You say, but we shouldn't. Now it seems as if it's getting emotional and you are all getting agitated, and that wouldn't be nice at all for us. So please temper us down.
Madam Host,
time is already fast.
Can I make a statement?
And from the no, please, you can't make a statement.
No, I want to make a statement based on what you said. To be short, 30 seconds.
Let me finish making my statement.
Finish your statement.
And as it stands now, you mentioned earlier that you can't really make a reservation. You have your reservation,
yes,
but you can't really give, or let me say, make any statements or any comments on it unless we hear from the Supreme Court pertaining what we've seen the Attorney General equally do. And I actually wanted to ask a question to Enoch, but from his statement, it could actually tell that you've already made your judgment. Even when we haven't heard from the Supreme Court
exactly
yet. So
that's my point yesterday.
Right, so at this juncture we are just going to proceed to our next
you asked me
no, we have to proceed.
No, we have just 20 minutes
it's not based on your lateness, so we cannot move to our time.
No,
you have to be professional.
We are just going to proceed to the next item, our next topic for discussion. And as and when there's a new development on the case of Maslok CEO, we will talk about it. Thank you so much, gentlemen. So yesterday we saw the Attorney General came to give out or present a report from the Constitutional Review Committee, and it came with a whole lot of reforms, and we are just going to be looking at just a few of them, and we are out of here. So one has to do with dual citizenship and it's being eligible for public office but banned from presidency. So the government has accepted a recommendation to allow Ghanaians with dual citizenship to hold several public offices, including serving as members of parliament, without being required to renounce their foreign citizenship. Under the proposed changes, dual citizens could also qualify for positions such as Chief Justice, Speaker of Parliament, and Chairpersons of the Electoral Commission, provided they meet their constitutional requirements. And this one is a major exception. The dual citizen will not be eligible to serve as president or vice president. These two offices will remain reserved for persons who do not hold multiple citizenship. The government says the reforms are intended to widen democratic participation and allow more Ghanaians living abroad to contribute to national development. However, the changes will still have to go through the required constitutional amendment process before they become law. Okay. What can you say to this? Dual citizenship, eligible for anyone at all, but there are two exemptions. You can't be a president, neither can you become a vice president.
I think it turns out from the Jachikwesin's case. It makes a lot of sense, of which it is important. When you look at what happened with Jachikwesin in regards to dual citizenship and all the others, that the MPs, if you want to be a member of parliament, you have to be only a Ghanaian. You cannot have any other citizenship. I think it is important because as citizens, some of us find ourselves in other places. You go to school, you want to stay there, you want to work there, you want to make ends meet over there before you come down. And coming down, if you want to, you have an aspiration to become a member of parliament, it means you have to denounce that citizenship. You come down. What if tomorrow you want to go back again? That is also another issue. So for me, I think for that aspect, it is important. Even though I hold my reservations for the others, some of them.
Alright.
But for the Chikwesin one, I think for the dual citizenship, I think it is very important. So that, because I'm sure and I believe that is why some people have not been able up to now come out fully to contest as members of parliament. Because
doesn't mean we don't have capable people living in Ghana.
Oh, some of the members of parliament we have, they are not supposed to be there. Not at all. Yesterday I was listening to one member of parliament, Isunafo North, one NDC MP. If you listen to his take, meeting children, then you tell a child. I don't know if you've seen the video this morning. It's very sad. How can such a person be in parliament?
Right.
In any serious country, he should be resigning, telling a small girl that you want to marry her. How then? So you see, it will let us have competent people, because I believe those who have gone out to study, to make ends meet, no matter they have those. We need those kind of minds also, because I'm sure somebody somewhere in Kumasi may want to contest Menshia seat, but because they are preventing him as a result of dual citizenship, or better than baby. And some people do not just want to become members of parliament because they want some kind of immunity or to come and loot or get some ministerial position. Naturally, there are people who want to serve. There are people who want to pay their quota to the Ghanaian people. But as a result of this, and I believe this has prevented a lot of people from contesting as members of, because they've been personally denouncing US citizenship because of MPship. So for me, I think I side with that, and it will help us. It is not nice when I'm on the floor, then you keep on doing this. You see, I have a serious problem with what the gentleman is doing. It is not nice, and it is not the best.
Saw it, so you don't have to talk.
It is not the best. Why do you do that?
Okay. It's okay.
That is what he's
I get the platform, then you do
maybe
this.
he's doing it for his own personal. Come
Charlie,
on.
that is not nice. I'm
okay.
done. I'm done.
Right, but looking at delegates and positions such as the chief justice and also the electoral commission, shouldn't that also be exempted, or you think it should also be allowed to be filled in by a foreigner?
They are not foreigners, so let's make that point.
Yes,
they are Ghanaians, of which some have gone to acquire other citizenship. For me, I believe that once the person is a Ghanaian by birth, whatsoever reason, if the person should go somewhere and get other citizenship, once the person is born and bred Ghanaian, that should not prevent the person. But for presidency day, we should leave it that way. We should leave it that way. It is important. The highest seat of the land. The highest seat of the land.
Right. Nene, your thoughts on this?
Yeah. So before I state this, Madam Esinam, Madam Host, I am not someone who backs down.
We don't have time, please.
And
I beg you.
You see, I just wanted to state something.
Your time is ticking already.
Do you know the reason why? I don't feel you. I feel you are doing me a disservice, Madam Esinam.
Me?
Because
how?
I was gracious enough to come. If you know you want to talk a lot, come early. And then make your statement, because I feel like right now you are giving him more time than I am, and we are almost done. Please let me finish, Madam Host. I am on the floor, and you see, my own is, yes, I am on the floor. You stated that. See, I've seen his tactics. His tactics is
I don't
to
think
poke
it's actually
holes.
necessary
Hold on,
to go back
to poke
to
holes
again.
into. No, I'm stating from what he said, to poke holes into emotions, and we're not doing that. When I do this, I'm trying to let you know that, I did this. Yes, I'm trying to let you know that if you want to talk and express yourself, you should respect both of us and come early, and then come and make your statements, because we all.
No, that is not ethics. Then we go that tangent.
No.
It is not nice.
He's going to do it.
It is not nice.
You can close it, because I have
just look at what he said. You can close it.
No, what I'm saying, you can close it, because you see this
people who do not even respect hosts.
What are you talking about? Esinam, listen.
You can close it.
When yes, you can, because I cannot force you. Esinam, listen. I spoke something. I said something earlier. I spoke on my reservations, and we've already spoken about this particular question you asked him. I told you that I don't agree with the dual citizenship. Why don't I agree? I don't agree because what are you telling me? That okay, it's good. You have your dual citizenship, right? And you want to come and be MP in Ghana, right? Like you rightfully said, there are a lot of people in Ghana who also are born and bred here, who didn't go outside, who have a lot to offer here. Do you get it? What if I become an MP, right? And then I loot, and because I have I have a dual citizenship, right? I seek asylum with my other citizenship, and I run away, so you cannot try me. That is why I don't agree with the dual citizenship thing. And I feel like that is not a tangent we should go. You should, if you want to rule here, because in the first place, when you become a minister of state or you become an MP, you have an obligation to your constituents, right? And you always need to, you have to be doing duties in parliament. You have to be in your constituency. That is the reason why we see constituencies not being developed. You see, I always say that I want to be remembered as a communicator or as a politician who always stands up for what is right. And this would give opportunity for people to be able to loot and go. And that is my stance, even though my party has what? Has agreed. And then it's something we want to look at. I am stating emphatically that my reservations are, it should not be like that, because one, when you come and you become an MP or a minister of state or someone serving Ghanaians, you need to be here. You have diplomatic passports. If you want to travel anytime, you can travel. Do you get it? And as an MP or as a minister, you always have like this kind of advantage when you want to travel. And if you have been a citizen of a country before and you renounced it based on the fact that you want to come and serve your birth country, I feel it is admirable. Okay, honestly, that is my reservation. But I leave it to how things will go. And I feel like everybody is entitled to their reservation. But you see, when we come on air, and I'll state it again, we have to make sure that we speak to facts that are not based with emotions, facts that are based with, we should always try to, and I'm telling you, anybody who will listen to me on any radio station or anywhere, I will stand for what is right, even if it is my party that is doing wrong. I am not those kind of NDC communicators you meet who will back the wrong thing, because my president is not backing that. My president has stated, and if you have listened or you have watched our government, you see that from the onset, all the things that he has been saying, declare your asset, do this, do that, do this, is to make sure that his government is transparent. And he has even warned them that any of his appointees or anybody who's working in his government who will loot, he will take you on. And I believe that the president will. So this is my reservation on that.
Right. Thank you so much. Stand for the right thing.
Yeah.
Stand for the right thing. Right. Let's proceed into the next comment. The Attorney General also stated pertaining the report. Government endorses 5-year presidential term. Age limit cut to 35 years. The government has accepted a proposal to extend the tenure of presidents and parliaments from 4 years to 5 years. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice said this yesterday during the reading of the report, the Constitutional Review report. And the government says that the longer term will give elected administrations more time to implement and assess their policies. It argues that under the current 4-year cycle, the early part of a government tenure is often affected by transition, while the final year is dominated by election activities. So the government has agreed that in this principle, it's going to add an additional year to the tenure of every president. Instead of going 4 years, you're going to go 5 years. And this is to allow you to finish your project. Would this adding of 1 year really allow you to finish your project? And now you still think that they will draw the timetable to do some delay tactics?
Thank you very much for that. That's very, very good question. You see, I would say that when government brings out something, right, or when appointees bring out something, like I said, the AG admonished Ghanaians to always read stuff, right? You know, yesterday in his press conference, he made the statement and gave reasons why they did that.
Right.
I honestly agree. Why? Because you see, if it is 4 years, right, every government spends the first year constituting its government, right, choosing all of these things. And I feel like usually, because it is rushed, right, there's no time for you to actually get, you know, as in people who can actually do the work, right? So it is needed. And then you know that at the latter part of the 4-year term, right, it's election time. If you are somebody who wants to be re-elected, you now have to be on the road and doing all of these things. And honestly, it is sound. Do you understand me? Because it will benefit both political parties in the sense that you would have more time to constitute your government, to make sure that you can serve Ghanaians with what the best people and to the best of your knowledge. And I feel like if we agree to this, right, in the sense that now our people will never come and complain again that they had no time.
No time.
Because I want to state on record that you see all these proposals or this government paper that has been brought, right? It was done with former president aware. He was also given the opportunity to be able to share his his thoughts and all of that. And then there were over 750 people part of it. Even Ghanaians were allowed to do all of this. So I feel like that particular thing is in the right direction based on the explanation that was given.
Just imagine going to vote for a president. Oh, his first time he's doing, and then his second time, hey, things are hard.
Yeah.
That means that man is sitting for 10 years.
Yeah, going to see Shege for the next 5 years.
You have to endure.
Yeah. Of course, everything has its advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah. That's the disadvantage part of that. But I'm worried and more concerned that if this additional year is actually going to allow these administrations to actually finish their policies and also projects. I see you nodding your head. What do you say?
Oh, if they even give you 10 years.
Yes,
it's not necessary.
I agree on that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. 4 years, it's okay. It means that every president is entitled to, if it is 2 term, 10 years.
Yes.
And for my back, 10 years, 8 years of cry. So for me, I believe that if it's about project and about doing the work and completion, the years really doesn't matter. What I was expecting is that increase it to about either 6, so that when you come, we don't re-elect you. That out, I think.
So like after the 4 years?
No, we do it 6 years.
6 years.
We
so
do president. There be one.
Okay, so 6 years at once. Oh.
So that you do not first step because you want re-election. So for me, I believe that would have sat well with me. But yeah, everybody is entitled to their view. So to me, this 5 years will not make any impact. But let me state that on
government
fact.
Has also
Dr. Baumia, when we come, we also constitute a committee. Don't worry at all.
Government has also approved the delegate system, which was ruled by the Supreme Court as well, to allow everyone to be involved in voting. But not
I have been thinking about it to understand.
Because some time back, you disagreed with that.
Loot small and pay small. Now opened up. Loot big.
So that means that
big.
It's going to be an avenue for.
If the reason for the abolishment of delegate system has to do with because our politics have become monetary, then you have worsened it.
In what sense?
You are telling me that because it is delegate, I am paying so that I can win. Now we are opening up to every committed party member with good standing. Then I'll find big money and pay all the good standing members. You think it's not possible? We are paying members during December 7th election. You are not aware. Look at the amount of money that goes that day, 7th. You think that politician, if that person really wants to be a member of parliament, cannot pay his constituency members who are in good standing? What are you telling me? So if the main reason for doing this is to take away the monetary part of our politics, then you have worsened it to me, because you've given that person the opportunity to loot more so that he can pay more, because now the numbers have widened and it is not impossible. Those saying it is not impossible to pay. We pay, they pay. December 7th, they pay Ghanaians to go and vote. The Ghanaians come that give me lorry fare before I go and vote. So what has it got to do with? So it will not change anything. But yeah, Chairman Esedun Ketia will still win. If you like, abolish. If you like, don't abolish. He's the grassroots man. He still win. Whatever reason, we know their reason. Chairman is still winning. Don't worry.
Nina, is it going to worsen the monetization in our politics?
I don't think it's going to worsen.
You don't think it
yes.
will?
Why?
Why?
Why do I say that? You see, based on what my brother said, it is not that's not the only reason why we are doing it like that. Okay, and I agree. You see, I always believe in inclusivity. Do you get it? Like, let's give.
I think that was what the Supreme Court based on to actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see, that's why I always say that. For me, I always deal in facts. The Supreme Court did that, and even the AG said that. Of course, Anthony Julius, he once pushed for something like that. Why?
And I think the NDC also pushed for that.
Exactly.
But I didn't succeed.
Yes, but right now we hope it does, in the sense that now it gives opportunity for everybody to be able to have a say. You see, and from the thing he was saying, I feel like that is the canker. I always say that, you see, we should not always be quick to judge our governments, be it MPP or NDC. As Ghanaians, we have to change our attitudes at some point. Why would you, a Ghanaian, go and say Esinam before I will elect you? Because I know that maybe Uba already fini. It is the sense of entitlement.
But don't you think that is the same politician that has actually brought this?
Yes,
themselves?
and they are also Ghanaians. That's why I'm saying that the problem needs to be dealt with from the root first. But I do agree, because in the first place, if we are able to deal with that problem from the root, right? If my brother is going for a parliamentary position or something, I can have the opportunity to what? To also vote or say no. What you say? But a ban is a delegate system. Do you know that some how will I say, some politicians, right, or some presidential candidates actually spend time and constitute teams to get to know delegates, right? Personally. So what you say, to lobby them to their side. Do you know what happens in this case? It widens the net. Of course, some people have the resources to actually do that. What you say, and some of them will loot to actually do that from both sides. That is the truth. But I feel like the advantages of that outweighs the disadvantages that we are mentioning. And what is sound reasoning? Sound reasoning is when you look at things that will benefit you, right? Listen, if you are taking a car, like the way he said he took a motor here, it's very dangerous to take a motor. But based on the fact that he wants to get here early, he decided that. So in his case, the advantages outweighed the disadvantages. So that is my stand. I feel it's a right step in the right direction. It will help inclusivity. It will help the choosing to be more open, and it will deter, because not everybody can actually pay all of these people. Right. That is the truth. But yeah.
In the court ruling, they mentioned that they are going to give 1 year to these political parties to readjust, re-strategize, to make sure that they switch to the next system. Is that enough?
Just like the way I'm saying that the 5-year term, right? The 1 year might not be enough. But if we are to give, the flag bearer and all of these things will have to be present in all of these things, right? Maybe they need to be focused, like the way our president is. He needs to be focused on ruling the country. He cannot get time to be doing all of these things. Do you understand? I'm talking in the sense if he was the flag bearer. What you say? Yeah. Like in the position of Baumia. That's what I'm speaking for. What you say?
Yeah.
So I feel like 1 year is okay, because if you were to give more, it will really, really be problematic.
Right.
Yeah.
Mr. K, you do not agree with that, so even though 1 year, yeah. So let's look at one last key highlight, then we call it a day. So government to cap parliament at 300 MPs. And under the proposal, 276 members of parliament will continue to be elected through the existing constituency-based elections, while the remaining 24 seats will be allocated through a proportional representation mechanism designed to increase the representation of women, persons with disabilities, and young people. I see you smiling. What do you have to say?
And this
yeah,
I'm okay.
Oh, persons with disability.
They should come to
inclusivity.
Parliament.
Yes.
Let me not go and tell so they say I'm attacking persons with disability. Please, whatever they want to do, but it doesn't sit well with me.
Oh, you think?
No. If you think,
should it be?
I'm coming. If you think
increased or decreased,
the members of parliament,
yes,
you can increase it
300.
if you feel, because I still feel there are still constituencies that are still big.
That should be divided.
So you
are calling for an increase.
Yes, but not in the sense that 24 should be left for women and people with disability.
I believe that. Do you find that discriminatory?
No, not discriminatory aspect, but I feel if you feel that you are a person with disability and you have that capability to be a member of parliament, you still have the room to contest. I'm not sure the constitution bears anyone. The 1992 constitution from start to the end, I'm not sure there is any portion that says persons with disability cannot contest as members of parliament. So for me, I still think that it should be increased, but we should still open up for election. A place like Domekwabenya, too big.
Right.
That's
on the issue of disability, you know the perception people actually have when they see a disabled person. I think some time back we had a presidential candidate who was a disabled
of which
person.
the Honorable Sam George abused.
And
verbally, you remember that?
And people were actually like, now president, can you do the job?
Oh no,
that is the perception that people actually
I think it is as a result of where he came from, the party. Are you sure if that person was from NPP or NDC and had won primaries or had a better chance? So my point has to do with, it is not about being disabled, or it is not, once you feel you have that capabilities,
why not?
Why not? Ghanaians will vote for you. I'm still waiting for the day we'll have somebody boldly coming out, maybe a blind man, to stand as a member of parliament. Then the people vote for such a person. So for me, I don't think that we should leave some portion for women. Some are more cheating.
How are they cheating? They are rather. Don't you think it's rather an encouragement?
Is not, you see, the point is simple. The constitution does not bear any woman from contesting. It does not bear any disabled person from contesting. So if it does, that is where we'll have an issue that we can say leave 24 for them. So for me, that portion. And again, I still repeat, when Dr. Baumia comes, we'll form a CRC committee.
All right. Nene, what do you have to say to this?
Yeah, so for me, I stated it earlier when I was speaking to you that I agree with that, because I am all for inclusivity, right? I feel like it will give opportunities for young people to also be able to be present or like contribute to lawmaking and policy and parliamentary proceedings to steer Ghana, right? Because the whole reason of reducing the age of presidency to 35 is to make sure that the youth can also do that, okay? And then usually see women usually in Ghana, it's now that it's changing, right? We are empowering women. Usually women shy away from these things. So of course it will help kind of balance it. And then disabled people, like he rightly mentioned, if you know that you can contest, you go. But you know, if this case we're actually selecting somebody who's disabled, maybe a blind person or a deaf person or somebody who is physically challenged when it comes to their legs or hands, you know, it causes them to also speak out in parliament for that. So I am for that. And also to just clarify, the former president was part of this. It was part of the committee that actually constituted all of this. So,
which of the former presidents?
Nanado.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he did it with the sitting president, President John Dramani Mahama. So for me, I am for that.
Right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I think that'll be all for us today on the morning show.
Yeah.
I have a comment from Michael A. Champon. He says, "Good morning. Good morning to you, Michael A. Champon, and thank you so much for joining us on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show." All right, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. It's been heated, it's been educative, it's been insightful. Thank you, brilliant man, Mr. Akem, Mr. Elliott. Thank you so much for bringing your submission on board. Thank you for making the Breakfast Show a success. I hope you are satisfied with what we have said to you this morning. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll come your way same time next week. Have a lovely weekend and take care of yourself.